because we're live now, by the way.
Hello, Dev. Hello, Dev. We're live right now, specifically so we don't steal Adam and Sitch's viewers. That's why we wanted to start early, but we started late. No, Dev, you're more than welcome to join us. Since the reason that I decided to talk about this Nancy Pelosi video, which you did bring up some good points, though. This Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi video, you brought up some good points that I found interesting, and I thought I'd talk to Spoon about it. I'd still like to talk to you at some point about it, Dev.
Heavily.
But I think what we're gonna do is go through that video because there was camera footage released of the.
There's more than welcome to come on. I am on Discord.
If we should say, I don't know what else to call it. The event that occurred at Paul Pelosi's house that was
the gay romp that was definitely not a gay romp. Being on camera to say that it's definitely not a gay romp.
Definitely not a gay romp. There was absolutely nothing potentially homosexual that was happening there whatsoever.
I mean, let's be honest, right? The homosexual angle, as funny as it is, there's just a bunch of things that make me go, I'm skeptical. Because more than not, it's pointing that it isn't. But there's some things that make me go, but the timeline is no. Yeah. Like, there's too many things. Like, I was hoping that if you see the footage, we go, oh, we can definitely piece together what happened here. And the more the footage, I'm like, I have more questions than I have answers. Like, this doesn't clear it up at all.
Right.
It just makes me kind of
were you able to find it? Because even though Pelosi, I'm going to call him Paul because I don't want to get it confused with his
I call him Paul
wife.
to Pepe because it's funnier that way.
What was the exact? Because the call was made to 911, but the people who showed up were not the local police, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I looked at this.
Yeah, I think there was. It wasn't the local. It was someone that was connected to Washington. I could be wrong, but you know the story.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to. Well, I was making a thumbnail. I asked you to look that up, but I see you did not, sir. It's okay.
That's why we're getting food. Of course, you're going over my video. What, over your video? What are we talking about? Dev, what video are you talking about? I'm confused.
Dev, I asked you to come on. Look. That's why I said come. All right, you can debunk all of our arguments if we have a discussion about it. So here it's basically like we're giving you all the ammo you need to epically own me.
I don't really have any definitive points. There's just, to me, there's
and I don't
too
really
much,
either, to be fair.
Yeah, to me, there's just like there's way too much weird shit in the story that I don't get.
Oh no, we're not gonna watch your video, Dev. We're just gonna watch the raw footage itself. We're not gonna. Well, I mean, we can watch your video if you think so. You said you had some unique stuff. I remember watching that video. I think. Did you put that out recently, or was it a while ago? Because I remember watching it.
What are you putting up? The one?
No, we can watch Dev's video if you want after we watch the stuff itself. I don't really mind either or. I'm just trying to remember what police force actually showed up.
Also, hi Dev.
Hello.
It's just very rude. We're just like jumping in and just freaking hitting poor Dev over the head. We haven't even said hi. We're very, very rude here.
I thought I did. I started out by saying hi.
I did. So I just had to go with him. Yeah. Yeah, Dev, someone also did a deep dive on Pelosi, usually with a hammer. That means either his head or his ass. You can take whatever you will.
Well, either way, somebody's getting screwed. So.
That's pretty good.
Well, let me pull up your video, Dev, because we also have this Moldbug video we wanted to go over.
Dev, why don't you come on stream and talk about it? Stream, sorry.
Oh yeah,
he's talking shit to us. He's not fucking busy. Liar.
It's 15 minutes. Let's go over the footage first, and then let's watch Dev's video since he disagrees with us. Then we can have a fair and balanced take and be true enlightened centrist.
I guess I would never call myself a centrist. I'm a fucking hardened right winger, and I'm proud of it.
I'm further right than you, but also more libertarian. You know it's true. We took the test. It cannot be disproven. Science is settled. I am the science.
Yeah. This is the most annoying thing. If we did a test and this freaking woman is more right wing than I am, and she doesn't like to be called right wing.
I don't really think that's true. I just want people to use all of my very special pronouns, like the special snowflake I am, like, a
monarchist libertarian.
I think that probably it would be a narco-capitalist, Hoppian libertarian, voluntarist, monarchist, yeah. There you go.
That's a mouthful as well.
In other words, cringe. Oh my. Fair and balanced Eliza Blue roast? No, I am gonna roast the shit out of Eliza Blue though. I think in my next video. I talked to Venti about it a little bit. I'm real fired up about that Eliza Blue stuff. It me no likey. I don't like or appreciate when somebody abuses their power to silence other people. I don't care who it is. I don't care what side they alleged to be on politically. I don't like seeing it, and I won't abide it without at least speaking my mind.
That's the most honest thing I've seen you say in months, Dev.
What? What do you mean in months?
Whereas politics are best described as normie. I'll agree with him on that.
I don't know about that.
No, he describes himself as normie.
Yeah, I know. Centrism is often shorthand for a lot of other things, just like I'll say monarchist or I'll say libertarian, but if you want the whole spiel,
if we say monarchist and libertarian to people, they look at you like you just handed them a baby. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what do you? How can you be libertarian? Like that's the favorite response. Like, how can you be libertarian and monarchist? Like, quite easily.
It's always like, how much time you got? Let's get into it.
How open is your mind,
pull
really?
Up preface. Don't even pull up chapter 1. Preface. Liberty or equality. Let's start with Eric von Kuhnhout Lenin and go from there. And not Julius Evola. Not it's not the basis of my ideology. Which I just say Lenin's the basis of it. I like Evola's stuff in some places, but I wouldn't call it anywhere a basis of my ideology because there's a lot of things I disagree with Evola on. Like
Dev, I'm not saying you're almost myself there for a second. I'm not saying you're dishonest. I'm just saying
just
that
being
is
rude.
the most...
Don't worry, he does it to me all the time.
How dare you? I'm just saying that...
constantly rude.
You give me shit all the time. I'm trying to freaking speak to Dev. I was like saying that's the most honest thing I've heard you say, is that your politics are normie. Because let's be honest, Dev, you do say some shit that runs your audience. Like, that's obvious, Dev.
Yeah, but he's worried about that audience capture, which I do understand, by the way. I just never give a shit what my audience thinks. I give a shit. I give a shit what you guys think. Just
you're on an Evola arc, really?
I know you've been reading Evola.
Yeah, but that's to knock him, Dev. It's not to
I'm not. Yeah, I think James Burnham, Eric von Kuhnhout Lenin. That's the people you're going to find that I agree and align with directly than Evola, personally.
There's a lot of religious aspects to Lenin, though.
Yeah, reading the books in Academic Agents Order. Yeah. That's about how I feel about Evola. I don't agree with a lot of it, but it is interesting. It is certainly interesting. Shall we actually get into the video? When we watch, Dev's says he's got to bounce, but we'll watch this video in a little bit.
I feel like the main critique I have with a lot of people is that people are... I think the market very much forces people into wings, because it's like you have a group of people who are usually... psychology. Yeah, but it's usually like with the right wing, like you go down like a pipeline and then you'll go from like, sticks to razor fists to like harder people. And you kind of like, Sargon's in that group as well. You have like a group of people who like gel together because they have similar takes. And then you've got the opposite side. People like, Sam Cedar and Destiny, all these fucking lunatics. No offense, Destiny.
Whoa, don't lump Destiny with Sam Cedar.
No, I mean, as the opposite to the right.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, whoa, my dude.
Yeah, no, I would no. I think if Destiny were to debate Sam Cedar would be a puddle of just
Sam Cedar would do what the fuck would he do
Destiny
with
would kick
Crowder
the shit
and
out of him,
bitch out.
Yeah, no, Destiny would absolutely maul him. I just mean
Sam Cedar, it was Ethan Klein bitched out, and then used Sam Cedar as his bulwark, which is like, wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but I just mean
I don't know. I actually don't know who that's most embarrassing for in that whole trifecta of people. If that's most embarrassing, I think it's most embarrassing for Ethan Klein.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's then secondly embarrassing for Crowder, who then dipped.
Yeah.
And then like least embarrassing for slimy little worm Sam Cedar. But anyhow.
Yeah. No, but like you have these kind of like spaces that tend to pull people in. And because of that, there's not a lot of nuanced takes, because if people are like left and right wing and they have this tribalistic mindset, they watch someone and their instant critique is like, I am looking at this person and I'm hate watching them. So I just want to say, I want to listen to one part where I disagree, and then I'm going to spurg in the comment section about this one part. That is what most comment sections do.
Yeah. Like that's how it works.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's not a good model for like conversation. Like I take the piss out of my comments all the time because occasionally I will have someone that says really something very stupid, and then I'll take the piss out of it and make a video out of it because it's funny.
Yeah, real quick, I was gonna see if I can pull up my Amazon reading list of all the stuff that I would either have read. Well, I just mostly read all of it.
I actually started reading a book a while ago called America Against America.
Oh, that's on my list, I think. Yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah, from the Chinese guy. And I was really fascinated by how the Chinese guy says America is a country of equality and liberty.
Oh, this is the book you just told me about. Right.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, how the hell does a Chinese guy get that? But the Americans who live there don't. Because
he studied. Well, yeah, he's looking at it and studying it. So he's looking at it and studying it. So that's why he's able to with a good understanding of it. Apparently, when you have an outsider perspective, I think that actually can be extremely helpful, right?
Yeah, he's also a clear communist, I believe.
Well, that's all right. I think that it's useful for us to read the perspectives of people who come from a totally different perspective that we do. You know, it's one of the things that you and I have talked about a lot.
The China one is really interesting.
It's one of the things that you and I have talked about a lot, is that you and I have, for a variety of reasons, a very different take on politics than probably a lot of other people. Yeah. Because we're both expats. So
yeah, and so is Sargon, and I think that does help him. Because
it really does change your perspective to really live, not to visit, but to like live someplace outside of your home country.
Because I did say that when we were on with Adam and Sid, when we were discussing the Russia thing, just saying like, isn't it weird that me, you, and Sargon have all lived outside of our birth nations for a substantial period of time, and we can tell that there's a cultural difference between us and the Americans.
Well, I'm the only one of the three of you who is an American, and even I can see that too. So,
but you've also lived outside of your host nation, so you can. Like, I remember you spoke to me before, and you said you didn't see why other people hated America, and then you left outside of America. You're like, oh god, yeah.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah, yeah. And it's not. It's again like, well, as an American, you don't get it, obviously. Yeah. Like why people are, and some of it is pedantic and BS, but some of it is legitimate. I mean, like, sometimes I will see the way other Americans act, particularly overseas, and just like, oh my god, it's so much secondhand embarrassment, which is not what's it called?
Having been overseas with Americans, I can tell you, I can see why you would feel that.
Yeah, what's the name for that? The scientific.
What?
Friendsham.
That's actually pretty close, actually.
As like with everything, there's a good German word for it.
Of course, because the German language is rather diverse and long-lasting.
Shame felt for actions done by someone else, vicarious embarrassment, secondhand. I did a video about it. Of course, I did.
I didn't know that the Germans have a word for that.
Oh, the Germans have a word for everything, though.
Yeah, because the Germans are actually a bloody good race of people.
You were talking about, you were floating the idea of like, oh, let's go to Liechtenstein or Luxembourg so we can go to a monarchy and
a true monarchy,
like, tour it. I mean, I think actually both are constitutional, but still.
Yeah, I don't think there's any absolute monarchies in Europe, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I was just looking through, like, just like, oh, what would it take to like, go to Liechtenstein, for example,
you have to go
for a tour of Liechtenstein. But I mean, like, more like, what would he do there, like, and stuff like that. And I was just, of course, German is somewhat mutually intelligible with English if you look at it real closely, and think about it and try to like look at root words. You can sometimes get an idea. But one thing that German does in a way that no other language I've ever seen is just like the word will be just like a whole paragraph long. It's just all pushed together. It's like, what the fuck? Like, if I break the word down into its constituent parts, it starts to make some sense. But when it's just like one big block of text, I don't know how people read it. I can read Japanese to a certain degree. I can understand it's drunken English. Well, kind of, yeah.
I have a question, actually, because I thought about this yesterday. I don't know how heavy the woke thing is in other places that aren't English-speaking nations. But I was thinking, like, take Germany, for example. And this, like, gender-neutral language. But all of their language is full of, like, der, die, and das. Mm-hmm. So would you remove the der and the die, which is male and female, for certain words? Because that's somehow offensive.
I guess so. I don't know.
Like, everything would be das. That would be freaking weird. Like you would destroy.
Understand.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. Is like with this extends even to the way that you describe certain objects. Like you'll have like der Stadt.
Yeah.
Or like a chair would be masculine and a TV would be feminine. Like shit like that. I thought like, I wonder what. Dear God, Germany, if you're that cocked, I'm not saying you need to go National Socialist again, but
please no, let's not.
Yeah, but somebody's ass needs to be kicked. Like if you're going down that route, then like Jesus, it's bad enough that we already fucking do. Oh, we can't say manhole because like, oh fuck off, you cunts.
Where did I don't know where my book list. It should have. I think I'm logged out of my old Amazon, but I have on my list of the books that I either bought or that I was buy. But yeah, for me, obviously, Kunut Lennon, James Burnham, those are the foundational stuff. And Machiavellians for sure. Yeah, and
that's the one book that
The Servile State.
Yeah, that's the one book that Dank is pushing hard as fuck.
The Machiavellians.
No.
Have you read it?
Democracy: The God That Failed.
Oh, I mean, obviously Hoppe. Hoppe is
because like Dank thinks monarchy is objectively better.
People get really mad about Hoppe because he says a couple things that are a little bit, let's just be honest, racist in that book, or they're considered racist. But it's like if you're gonna take the summation of a massive book and truncate it down to like 3 lines near the end, then you're being disingenuous and dishonest.
And also, I think...
And also not understand the time period in which the book was written, that what our modern sensibilities say are racist now is very different from...
That is the best reason to read old books, because they're not politically tainted.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this, like one reason amongst many, one I think is most persuasive and fascinating book I may have ever read, but another reason why I suggest liberty or equality is because there's nothing that I can find in that book that in any way, written in the mid 1940s, that could, even by today's perspective, I think be seen as racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever.
I think the only thing he says that is kind of dicey is that if you breed people with superior skills, they'll pass them down.
And that would be the most, but it's true. Yeah. I mean, like even true, that when you... Yeah. So I think that Kunut Lennon actually holds up better than Hoppe, who was writing decades later. So, I mean, Hoppe is obviously still alive.
But Lennon's work is like, man, I have to reevaluate my entire life in the next 5 hours. It's like,
not 5 hours, but it's like, wow, man,
a lot of receipts in here. His religious work is like fucking heavy. Like,
Belloc, the Servile State, A Leviathan and Its Enemies, which was written by under a pseudonym. Have you read that book?
Leviathan and Its Enemies? I have it on my list. That's one of the books that Scrum recommended to me.
Yeah, that book was fantastic. Samuel T. Francis, Paul Gottfried, Jerry Woodruff. Yeah, Leviathan and Its Enemies, another, and that one's new. That was only published in 2021, which is probably why Scrump is familiar with it, because it's...
We can't stay on topic to save our lives. Yeah, that's very true, we can't.
I know. No, we're talking about important books.
No, Wiggles is correct, like we totally can't.
Totally can't. But important books to understand the monarchist perspective, without like becoming somehow weirdly attached to Julius Evola, who I don't think aligns with us actually quite well.
I wouldn't even say it's so much a monarchical perspective, just more dissident.
No, it's not. It's a hierarchical perspective, but it's not monarchical necessarily. Yeah. Look, Evola's ideas have been used to justify fascism, and you and I both are very, very anti-fascist. not in the I'm gonna go cut the soles out of my shoes, sit in a tree, learn to play the flute, and throw firebombs at people, anti-fascist. But as fascism is not a good form of government in our perspective. Let's watch this video, though, shouldn't we? First, Zion for 10 says, I'm beginning to think democracy is just oligarchy with the illusion of consent.
Well done.
You've got it, my dude.
That is true. That is what it
Here we go. I mean, that was unfortunately the outcome that I came to.
That was a Chinaman's take as well, where he just said, like, America is not a democracy.
It's illusion. Yeah. It's illusion. So here is Dev took umbrage with my tweet here, which is why I started the conversation with Dev. Maybe he and I will talk about this some other time. But he did raise some good points, and I thought, we were streamed tonight anyway, so let me reassess if I'm correct. Now, what I said is that recall that this incident was framed as a white supremacist lunatic breaking into their house. That's not quite what it looks like to me. Just to be clear, that is how it was framed when this first happened last year. And not by me, because I don't know why I would do that. But, so here we go. Left-wing figures attack.
Gary Thomas says something in says, Putin really depends where you go. For example, South Korea often gets unfiltered wokeness minus intersectionality for obvious reasons. Yeah, right. Yeah, because racially homogenous. Well, wokeness has a harder to infiltrate Japan. Really?
Yeah.
South Korea. Well, Japan is like a very strong empire in history, so
right.
Yeah, they still revere their old ways, which is fair enough. See, this is why this shit is easier to penetrate the Americans, because America doesn't actually have a culture. It doesn't have the blood and soil tie of it doesn't have empire.
First of all, Dev told me he has a copy of Liberty or Equality, and he says he's going to get to it. So there we go. I'm very excited for that, Dev. I'm excited. Tear it apart if you think you can. I think it will find it more difficult than even something like Hoppa, and definitely more difficult than, in my opinion. But I'm a little biased. It's the most politically illuminating book. It's one of the easiest to read political books comparatively to Ebola.
Yeah, but I would say his religious evolving is like is quite
the religious stuff might.
Yeah, the religious stuff is not easy. That requires you need to know at least a couple of people. Yeah, but it maybe go like, this is way out of my wheelhouse.
I think it's
the theory I like. Like I would say this is kind of weird. I find if I'm going to suggest monarchist reading, again, I say start with Kunat Lenin, not Moldbug, because Moldbug's really esoteric. And even though he's funny, I think he's harder to read. Yeah, but I think what makes... Okay, here's the thing. Moldbug is... I would say read Moldbug first, and here's why. Moldbug is a good...
That's the big question. Which one?
Yeah, I'd say start with...
Or Burnham. James Burnham also, I think. But maybe...
No. That's like third or fourth book. Read Moldbug's... Really? Yes, the reason I say read Moldbug is because Moldbug gives you a good introduction for... You know something is wrong, but you don't know what. And then he lays it like...
That is where...
Moldbug
comes from, yeah.
Yes, I do think, because when I read his first chapter of An Open Letter to Open-Minded Progressives, I'm like, oh, this is what I've been missing. So like that was like a good introduction for like, here's how the world works. And then if you feel inclined, An Introduction to Unqualified Reservations, which is the second thing he tells you to read, that book will like blow your fucking head wide the fuck open, because he attacks like everything about history. He says the American Revolution is complete bullshit.
Yeah,
and that's like that's not something that you would normally say to an American. Like if you're in a position where you can open-mindedly go into that, or at least actively minded, then you're in a position to take the red pill and really go down the fucking rabbit hole, because you'll fry your mind.
The red pill means different things, and that is also why I recommend Leviathan and Its Enemies. I forgot this about that book. Is that book was finished in 2005. It wasn't published till 2 years ago. It just was left sitting around.
Wow.
The author died.
Ew.
Samuel G. Francis. And so, like, that book is fantastic to really get.
Didn't he write The Managerial Revolution as well? I think so.
Yeah.
I should ask
No, that's James Burnham. No. Managerial Revolution is James Burnham.
You sure?
Thanks.
I could be wrong, but that's not.
Let me look this up.
It's not the only thing that
Yeah, it's James Burnham.
Okay, there we go.
I can understand why you get them confused. They have a lot of
but there's because,
intellectual crossover.
Yeah, no, because Scrum gave me like a list of books to read, and that was one of them.
As he did me.
And
so.
Because Scrum is one of our size people.
Scrum knows what's up.
Like, Scrum is like extremely well read.
Right. If you really want a list of books to read that involve
Scrum.
It's not just entirely modern. It's really understanding that everything you think you know is wrong. Not entirely, but to some degree.
Yeah.
That our perspective of the world has been tainted or obfuscated by modern political correctness and the winners, in a certain degree, getting to choose what history is. And that is not to say that, like, when I say the winners choose what history is, it's not to say that, like, oh, the Nazis were right or the Confederates were right. No, it's just more that who wins culturally gets to decide the cultural zeitgeist and what is accepted historical fact, even.
Like Moldbug has a good point in one of his videos.
Like the Abraham Lincoln video, also that Razorfish just put out, is an excellent example of that.
Yeah,
people also have like they just view him as deific, even though
because he's on Mount Rushmore.
Kind of a piece of shit in many ways, you know.
But like, for example, one of the things that Moldbug does in one of his books, he says, or he doesn't say this directly, but he said in his perspective is that, like, for example, the American Revolution. All we know about is the perspective of the Patriots. Do you know anything about the perspective of the Americans who favored the rule of the crown, and why did they favor the rule of the crown?
Read Mad Monarchist blog, and you can get a little bit better idea. But again, like,
we don't know about that because the American
because the Americans won.
Narrative, it's like, oh, we won, therefore monarchy bad. It's like, do you know why they fought the monarchy, or why?
Do you know how many American founding fathers were in favor of the monarchy? They just didn't like the way they were being treated.
Yes, quite a few of them. Hamilton was no fan.
Hamilton in particular.
Hamilton was. I feel like he was
weirdly nearly deified.
Yeah, I feel like republicanism for Hamilton was not an easy choice, and one he made with rather some reluctance.
Yes. Sorry that I talk quickly, guys. Give me a couple minutes. I'll have another skinful of drink. I'll slow down my roll. Actually, let's watch this video.
Okay.
No.
There's so much about this that I find sketch as fuck.
Well, I also drank coffee because I told you that, like, I was so tired I couldn't wake up. Just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Sorry, I think if I do any more, I'll be copyright. Anyway, here's the body cam footage. So this came out on January the 27th, so the other day. Now, I wanted to bring this up first. Right. Here's this article. Sorry. So according to the San Francisco police, Paul Pelosi was attacked with a hammer by a 42-year-old David DePape, or Papey. Well, how do you think it's pronounced? Pape?
I said DePepe because it's funny.
Pip. In the couple's California home, DePape was arrested. Paul Pelosi is expected to make a full recovery. Former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton was one of many to respond. Now, this is Fox News. Their framing of things is biased. Hillary Clinton's tweet is what it is, right? Hillary Clinton said the Republican Party and its mouthpieces now regularly spread hate and deranged conspiracy theories.
It is shocking but not surprising.
Yeah, that violence is the result. As citizens, we must hold them accountable for their words and the actions that follow. So if somebody takes your words and then says, well, I'm going to go do violence because I was inspired by XYZ, then apparently, according to Hillary Clinton, the person who said the thing that they cited as an impetus for their behavior should also be prosecuted for behavior that they didn't engage in. But of course, Hillary Clinton is an authoritarian, totalitarian nightmare humanoid.
She's also part of the political elite. For her to say, like, we as citizens, like, bitch, who the fuck are you kidding? Like, you're not a citizen.
So, again, this is in October when it happened.
He's not in the sense of everybody else.
The Republican Party, the MAGA folk, convinced this dude to do it. She links to an LA Times article, right? Let's look at the LA Times article.
You know how this was not done by a Republican?
There's
no guns involved.
There's no guns involved, but it's also really weird. In a personal blog, DePepe maintained posts that include topics such as manipulation of history, the Holocaust, and it's okay to be white. You know, one of these things is not like the other two. Like, manipulation of history is exactly what I was just talking about, which is not an unknown thing. It's just a reality. And then it's okay to be white. So you're saying, and it's not okay to be white by saying that there's a problem with this phraseology. This one's a little different, okay, from the other two. He mentioned 4chan, a favorite message board of the far right. He posted videos about conspiracies involving COVID-19 vaccines, or in Ukraine being a ploy for Jewish people to buy land. I haven't seen that one, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually true.
I mean, I've not seen that. I'm sure he did post that kind of shit. This guy
It's very difficult to buy land when it's blackened with shells.
He's nuts, okay? Like, whatever this guy believes in, he's nuts. Both holding a hammer, whatever. I want to get another post, right. DePepe was sounding off about QAnon. He posted, remember when the UK arrested parents for trying to rescue their children from being gangbanged at a P-word, rape, R-word party, and F, let the P words continue their kitty R-word orgies. I sure love that I can't say anything on YouTube. That's very fun. Another post reference. Sorry. Oh, by the way, guys, the reason why my video is not out yet is because it's sitting in the gulag right now waiting for monetization. I would say, props to YouTube. They responded to me instantly. The video was instantly demonetized, even though there's no curse words in it. It does talk about the Nuremberg trials, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa, and etc. So it's got like tough subjects in it, but they're covered historically. Okay, I did imply at one point that Winnie Mandela might have been a nonce. But I didn't say she was. I said she was accused of being a nonce, which she was. So I'm not responsible for that. And it looks bad on YouTube if they try to cover up, like, somebody just talking about Nuremberg. You know what I mean? It's not a good look for them. So one thing I would say, okay, it's frustrating on one side because the video has now been under review for 2 days. I think I prefer that it's been under review for 2 days rather than they come back to me within 30 minutes and go, we watched your whole hour-and-a-half long video in 30 minutes and decided that it violates the rules. At least it looks like they're looking at it, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that the people from YouTube got back to me real quick on Twitter. But it's so frustrating to sit here and just be like, well, I have to wait. Anywho, so that's another reason why we're streaming, is because otherwise I just sit around and twiddle my thumbs waiting for this rolling to come back.
Do you know what I hate about YouTube? Is there sometimes they will give you... there'll be like a notification of one of the comments, and of one of the comments in the video, and the person either deleted it or it doesn't show up.
Oh,
like, yeah, and someone's just like, they did. Yeah, like
usually it's because they deleted it.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It's hard to tell because sometimes I've had people who have like gotten incredibly angry with. Like, why'd you delete my comment, Aiden? Why'd you delete my comment? Like, I even went into the back end. I can't find your comment. YouTube deleted your comment. You have to understand that there's like a bunch of different agents working here. I'm only one of them. It's also, by the way, also, if you spam the same comment, YouTube won't delete everything you posted on that video because you're spamming. And usually when I find that someone is that worked up, their comment is held for review because they drop a bunch of curse words and probably something threatening. And then they just post the same comment over and over and over again. And then YouTube just like shadow bans or outright bans their entire profile for spamming. And then they get mad at me. I can't help you with that one. Anywho, I'm at least happy that that Team YouTube is looking at my video clearly instead of just being like, oh yeah, we watched the whole thing in an hour. It's been 2 days. I think they are actually trying to figure out what to do with it because there's nothing in the video that breaks the guidelines. I'm always very, very careful. Very, very careful about what I do in videos, what I say, and how I say it. So, anymore. I used to make mistakes. I don't do that anymore. In streams, I can say things that aren't necessarily totally accurate. Well, accurate, but probably poorly worded.
No,
but,
the reason I laugh is because this comment said, apparently this is mean like low T content creator takes issue with high T content creator, likely because out of fear and jealousy. I'm like,
are you talking about Andrew Tate or something?
No, this is to do with Sargon.
Oh,
because I used his tweets in the video.
Yeah.
Yes,
and but you were agreeing with Sargon.
Were
you?
I took issue with one or two words. Yeah, I don't actually think Tate is the epitome of modern day.
Oh, this is not the Tate thing, right?
Yeah, and like out of jealousy, like if it wasn't for Sargon telling me to make the channel, I wouldn't have made the channels. It's
right?
Not it's not a fear out of anything. Like,
yeah, everyone has.
He's the reason I made the channel in the first place. Like, you dumbass.
Yeah, people don't like you. They have no one but Sargon to blame.
Yes. Yeah, like this is like the stupidest thing is like when people just say, oh, you have an issue with Sargon. Like, you do realize I can disagree with like one. Like, I agree with him like 99%, but like this one. The way that he worded his tweet, I'm like, this is kind of cocky on your part, Sargon. It's kind of rude and unnecessarily wordy.
The tweet was a little odd, I'd say that.
Yes, it came off as very elitist, because he did say that he called
you called yourself a proud elitist. hang on a second. I don't think you can criticize someone else for being elitist if you call yourself an elitist.
No, but do you know my two versions of elitist? Nah, hold on. I have to defend my position because I'm
right. It's
here.
the no, I'm not attacking you. It was the what kind of elitist? What were the two types? What was your dichotomy there?
Yeah, the can't be arsed elitist.
It can't be arsed, right?
Yeah, you've got snooty arsed elitists and can't be arsed elitists. The snooty arsed elitists are the ones that tell you, like, Fauci's a snooty arsed elitist. Like, we must follow the science and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aka Batosai, it won't be in review for 2 months. They have 7 days to get back. It's been the weekend. So I think that maybe that's part of it. But YouTube employees do work during the weekend. I think they'd be hard-pressed to find a problem with this video.
Yeah.
If it is a problem. Again, I've shown it to people. Like, there is nothing in it that I think is unadvertiser friendly. Unless you think that you can't talk about Nuremberg on the internet. In which case...
at this point, anything's possible. It's probably
I know, unless you're... But it's like, I can't talk about Nazis being put to death? Like, I thought that's...
Even Nazis deserve rights, Aiden.
Well, I mean, that would be...
I'm so going to get that taken out of context.
Well, and that's what you'd have to kind of say, though, right? All people deserve rights. But like,
communism deserve
rights. I'm not favorable toward the Nazis, obviously, in that video. I'm not favorable towards anybody. You know, like...
especially not commies.
Well, no, I talk shit about some of the people involved in the TRC as well. I mean, you read my script on it. Like, you know, it's just, I think that the reality is that it's a complicated topic, and it actually probably does require someone to manually review it. And usually YouTube is quite good with it. They respond to me almost instantly on Twitter. They said, it's already gone to review. If it's a problem, contact us again. So I will. But as far as I know, right now, it's still sitting in the hopper of being like, is this okay for monetization? The fact that they auto demonetized it is frustrating, but that's how YouTube works.
Yeah.
So,
but
especially when I work on something for a month.
Yeah.
It's like, you just sit there.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, but like here's the two elitists. The one is the can't be arsed elitist, and the other one is the snooty. The can't be arsed elitists are like the people. Moldbug is like a can't be arsed elitist.
Oh, can you explain it to the audience real quick? I have to go use the bathroom real quick. I've heard this before.
What, the can't be arsed elitist?
No, I'm just going to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. You explain to the audience.
The can't be arsed elitists, I said, are basically the people who don't feel need to engage in the intellectual sort of circle. They're just on the fringe. Like, they're the people who, like, comb through history books with a fine-tooth comb, and they, you know, the people that are, like, on the fringe, intellectual. Those are the people I think that are cool. Like, because everything in society that is interesting always starts with the one. So if you can find like where those ones are, because we look at people in society like, oh look, you value someone by how many eyeballs they have, which is the fucking stupidest metric to judge anyone's work by. But this is what we do in society, because this is, I think the internet's to blame for that. But if you listen to someone's words and they were like interesting, but they're old and dated by today's standards, I think there's still value. Like, if you like read H.L. Mencken's work.
Oh yes, highly recommend.
His work will make you like, holy crap, who talks like this? Because his writing is very, very ponderous, but it's very well written.
Yeah, but it's
very well written.
Mencken's harder to read than Ledin, I would say.
He's probably the hardest person I know to read, next to Hitchens.
Oh, that's weird because I don't have a problem with Hitchens.
Hitchens is very hard to read.
I think it's because Hitchens writes in an academic style, and I'm used to reading that.
Yes, whereas I'm not.
He writes like purely academic. No. It's not stupid or intelligent. It's that I'm trained in a really specific area of reading.
Yes, that makes you smarter than me.
No. That's not intelligence. That's skill. A skill is not talent, right? These are two different things. Anywho, I want to get back to this article so we can talk about this dude and watch the video. Skill and intelligence are not the same thing.
No, I think skill and talent.
Skill and talent are completely different. Anybody, look, not everybody can be talented.
Talent is what you're born with. Skill is what you
can learn. Yeah. You can gain a great deal of skill, but if you don't have a basic talent for it, it's kind of an upper limit. It's kind of an upper limit of what you can achieve. Whereas if you have natural talent and you learn the skill on top of it, then kind of sky's the limit, right?
I don't really think I have any talent, to be honest.
That's not very.
I don't think there's anything that I can think of like, oh, I'm naturally gifted at this. It's like maybe my voice, but like that's not really a talent. That's more like a natural gift.
Yeah, but...
And I can do funny voices.
You always do this shit where you talk down about yourself, and then you have to get me, like, simp for you, dude. I'm not gonna do that anymore.
No,
stop simping.
You say that you're not terribly bright, and if you say that to your audience, everyone in the audience is gonna say, like, yes, you are, shut up.
I think I'm about average intelligence. Did I leave my drink in the other room like a fucking moron? Speaking of which, no, I didn't. It's right in front of my face. I'm retarded.
Yeah, whereas I think that's complete bollocks.
Case in point. I think I have a very... I told you this the other day. I think that the most correct way of explicating my level of intellect is that I'm a sub-genius. I'm not fucking... Which is why, you know, praise Bob, hail Connie. It's a sub-genius. This is a sub-genius prayer. Call it a prayer. I like that terminology.
Apparently my voice is a talent.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. It is a talent. Yeah, I have a certain skill for being able to read specific literature.
You also have a nice voice in that sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
Although
Aiden's reported at 100 in IQ. Nah, it's higher than that, but it's sub-genius. It's not like... I think, what's genius... Well, what's genius level IQ? Like 145? Well, it's less than that.
It's 140.
When I've taken the... I think it's 139. Yeah.
Do you wear
like
matching
that.
socks? Then you're intelligent. I'm definitely happy by that standard then.
But like, well, people who like take IQ.
This is more ADD than usual.
This is more ADD.
It is more ADD.
Let's get to the thingy. Okay, Paul Pelosi. Here's the thing. Okay, again, these are articles that were written a couple months. This was written in October when it happened, right? So, found the man holding a hammer.
Was there something really sketchy about the timing of the articles?
It was weird, yeah. DePappy was mentioned in a 2013... Okay, so 3 of DePappy's relatives, including his father, declined to be interviewed for this article. This is in the LA Times. They said they haven't been in contact with DePappy for years, that he's not in contact with the family. DePappy grew up in British Columbia, so he's a Canadian dev.
Yeah.
And moved to California more than 20 years ago. Yeah, DePappy was mentioned in a 2013 San Francisco Chronicle article and was described as a father figure to Gypsy Taub, a nudist who lived in a 3-bedroom Victorian apartment in Berkeley with her then fiance and 3 children. So here's this article. Naked truth about Gypsy Taub's nude nuptials.
Do you not think that's really weird though? If you're an illegal and you're gonna go after the Speaker of the House husband.
I mean,
that's really dumb.
To be fair, he said he was waiting there for Nancy. But then he also said,
yeah, but if you're illegal, why the hell
before.
would you get involved with like political figures? That's really
You want my honest opinion? I think this man's severely mentally ill.
Oh yeah, that much is obvious.
Yeah. DePappy, who was a hemp jewelry maker, which means he was a pothead, let's just be real, okay? Like, come on.
Yeah, totally.
I make hemp jewelry, sure.
And I definitely don't smoke anything.
There's nothing wrong with smoking. Weird. When DePappy was sounding off about QAnon, he posted, "Remember when the UK arrested parents for trying to rescue their children from being..." You read that part. Another post reference Pizzagate. Pizzagate's connected to blah, blah, blah. Where's all this?
Yeah, I love the music on the soundtrack.
Connected to Epstein. Ha ha ha. My friends would like Pizzagate was debunked. There's no such thing as elite P-word sex rings. I'm like, hello, Epstein, what planet are you on? And another, he called equality a leftist dog whistle. So here's where it gets fucking confusing.
That's probably
like,
quite true.
Okay, he'll say things like the critics are commie gatekeepers. Fantastic performance by Mr. Rock. Talking about Black Adam, the movie.
Okay.
DePappy, days after Kanye West's Instagram and Twitter were locked due to his anti-Semitic remarks, DePappy created a subsection of his personal blog dedicated to post about Jewish people and to debunk the Holocaust.
Yes, because there's definitely no people in Congress on the left that don't like Jews.
It
Not at all.
The Holocauster, no. But like, no, I wasn't. My brain just fucked up. However, like, he shared all kinds of conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
that's what this dude did. Here's how. This is from San Francisco Gate. This is a San Francisco local newspaper. In the last 10 years, DePappy's beliefs seem to have shifted. Recent social media and blog posts attributed to DePappy are filled with far-right conspiracy theories ranging from repeated election fraud to COVID-19 conspiracies and questioning the Holocaust. His alleged internet history, rife with anti-LGBTQ and white supremacist content, looks
How do
nothing
those
like
cool
that
conspiracies look now?
Yeah. Not saying anything, YouTube people, please, currently reviewing my video. But Pepe's shift from progressive activism to QAnon-type conspiracy theories is more common than people think. No, you know what this is? It's called he's a madman. He's a crazy person. I don't think he has any kind of strong political beliefs whatsoever, other than the fact that he's nuts. Now, is that going to put some of this stuff with Paul Pelosi into more context? Maybe. I don't know. And I really want to talk about it because you and I talked about it for a minute after Dev brought it up to me, and I was like, oh, we should talk about that. Because I think it's a curious sort of conundrum. Don't know for sure, but I think that my opinion on what Occam's razor is very different from what Dev's opinion on the Occam's razor outcome on this series of videos is. But honestly, I don't know because it's so goddamn bizarre.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not willing to say anything definitively. I'm going to say what it looks like is more likely to me, but I could easily be wrong. And I think anyone who's in this particular circumstance not willing to say they're wrong needs to cool the jets. Dev, I'm just saying, cool the jets. I think that both are possibilities. So we need to not pretend that one is insane and the other one is totally rational. Because the whole thing is ridiculous and weird.
It's kind of fucking batshit weird.
Yeah, that's my only point on it.
Can we watch the video? Because I want to get people's opinions on
Yeah, I just wanted to get through. The thing is that, like, again, he's made these QAnon posts, some of the COVID stuff, right?
But see, here's the thing. All of this stuff, none of this explains the video.
No.
See, that's what I mean. Like, I found the footage to be more interesting. Because the footage, I thought, like, oh, if we see the footage, we're definitely gonna know what the fuck happened.
Yes.
And then when we saw the footage, I don't really know.
This guy used to be involved in a whole bunch of far left-wing movements, right?
Yes.
And now he's involved in what are
he was
associated with
found
far-right
in a
movements.
freaking commie gobbledygook freaking commune with
It's
BLM
like
flags and trans
just a
hippie
weirdo
shit.
conspiracy theorist. So let's watch the actual video itself. So here we go. We can see. Here's the police walking up.
Yeah. Like, look at can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
Full screen, I think, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So here are the police walking up. I'm gonna play it now.
Oh no, watch this.
I'm knocking on the door.
Now wait a while. And now tell me, I want people in the chat to tell me, who do you think opens the door?
We don't know.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Because they just watch the door.
2640. Yeah, it's literally sitting there.
Right.
Who opened the door there?
Because he goes back to grabbing the hammer.
Okay, so I know that it's blurry and shitty footage, but to explain what's happening, this is DePappy, the larger lad. Paul Pelosi is the white-haired man on the right side of the screen.
Thanks,
to
Captain
DePappy's
Obvious.
left. Right? I'm just saying for those who may not know. Of course, Paul Pelosi is not wearing any pants. We can have a question about whether or not what Paul Pelosi is wearing, or a discussion about what
It's a Jim Jam.
Paul Pelosi is wearing in his top is a bed shirt, or is it a pajama shirt, or is this...
Rube. I'm sorry, I don't have automatic doors.
Are there automatic doors?
Apparently.
How do automatic doors work?
I have no idea.
But then who would have pressed the automatic door button?
Yeah, that's the point.
If somebody's pressing an automatic door button, it would be Paul, wouldn't it?
The door doesn't just open up for everyone who was at the door.
No, it doesn't. Obviously not. So if someone's pushing a button to open up the door...
Yeah, so a touch button, yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. Yeah, but here's the thing. So someone would have had to open the door using some other manual lever, just not near the door. So they still have to open the door.
The only person who's near anything that they could have touched as a button right now is Paul Pelosi.
Yes.
But here's where it gets weirder, right?
How you doing?
Paul Pelosi's got a drink in his hand.
So did he hold the door
and push a button?
Yes.
While he's got, you could do that. You could hold that drink. You could hold that drink and use your, index finger or whatever to push a button. Weird things too.
Okay, so let me let me get this right. So let me just put a timeline here. This guy broke into Pelosi's house.
We've got that footage as well.
With a fucking hammer. Then Paul Pelosi met the guy, spoke with him, somehow got him from wherever the phone call was to this place where they're holding a hammer in front of him at the door. How the fuck do you get to that?
He broke in at the back side of the house. Paul's holding this guy's hand. He's holding the hammer, right?
Yes.
So, but one of the things you're going to note, then in his one hand he's got the hammer. In the other hand, he's got a drink. Yes. And as I said, as a seasoned alcoholic, people don't hold water like this. This is how people hold alcohol, okay?
Yeah, that's actually true.
Like, nobody is holding on to a glass of water like this. I'm real sorry about that. That's vodka. He mixed the drink. Gin. It's some kind of mixed drink. Nobody holds on to a glass of water like this particularly when they're being attacked in their home. That is definitively how someone holds on to a alcoholic drink. Now, they both, in my opinion, act like they're under some kind of substance influence. Yeah.
Well, he's definitely had a drink or two.
Both of them have had something. That's for sure.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Holds onto Paul's arm. He's looking at the police kind of confused. He's got a drink in his hand. And look at their faces. Like, I know it's blurry and shitty, but look.
Good.
They're both smiling. I don't know what now, here also is the best shot we get because of the flashlight of Paul Pelosi's shirt.
Looks like a dickhead behind him.
Is it a nighty-night bedtime shirt, or is this I think it might, now looking at that pocket, it might be a nighty-night bedtime, shirt. But it is a button-up. So I'm not, and it does have a collar. So I'm not sure, and I'm not a man, I'm not sure if this is a regular shirt or if this is a pajama shirt. It could honestly kind of pass for either one. And because of the shitty footage, I can't tell if this is a pajama shirt or if this is an actual button-up shirt. What do you guys think? I don't know. I am playing the video, so I can't read the comments. But I don't know. It's weird. That's what I'm saying. This whole thing is weird to me. The fact that they're both smiling is weird to me. The fact that Paul's got a drink in his hand.
It's the fact that the guy told you, because if you listen to the phone call, it sounds like it sounds like the Papa is talking to Pelosi as he's on the phone with the cops.
Yeah, let's bring that up after this.
So how the hell did you make a phone call with the police while he's there, and he's talking to you while you're on the phone with the police?
Yeah, I'm gonna
how the hell?
I'm gonna stave off my judgments, not my judgments, but my full opinions till the end. I'm just gonna point things out. Things that are worth pointing out. Yeah, Pelosi's undressed.
Yes, look, Dread in the chat, pajama shirt, no pants. Yeah, I said that as well. Like, that's fucking weird.
It is weird. The other guy's fully dressed, right? That's weird. Yeah. If the other guy's an intruder, that would make more sense. If he's an intruder, yeah. I don't know. As you can see, Pelosi is now holding the hammer with his right hand. The other guy has his arm on Pelosi's arm. Pelosi's holding the hammer with his left. DePepe has his left hand on.
Were they standing in the foyer there waiting for the police to arrive with the hammer in hand?
Okay, so if it's an automatic door, it would make more sense, because you and I watched this a couple of times, being like, who opened the damn door? If there's a button here on the side, Pelosi pushed it, okay, that opens the door. There's no such thing as an automatic door, as far as I know, that just, for a residential, that just opens when someone steps on your porch. Yeah. That would be kind of insane.
Yeah. So if you're a politician, that's a security fucking risk.
So there's probably a button here if it is an automatic door, which is why we couldn't figure out who opened it. But this is
kind of weird as hell.
Bizarre, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy.
Drop
Just to see, it's 2:30 in the morning. You can see in the clock back there. It's either 2:30 or 3:30. So it's in the middle of the
good eye. I didn't even see that shit.
the hammer.
Yeah, you can see 2:30, 2:31. Here's the hammer. He's smiling, and look, and Paul is smiling.
I think they might be nerves. I don't really fucking know.
It could be, but I'm just saying, look at this. They're both. Is it nervous?
Or it's
I don't
pain
know.
because he's like wrapping his hand around the hammer.
I don't know. It looks kind of like a smile until it goes really bad, which is about to go back.
What is going on right
I'm
now?
not getting an answer.
Okay, I'm skipping this for you, just that part there.
So you waited this whole freaking time to wait till they get to the cops to hit him?
Yeah.
Why?
It's real weird.
Shit! I got him, Michael.
Now the snoring kicks in.
Edward 14 Everton, backup code 3.
I'm just passing because he's drunk.
Code 3 back up.
It's not even like.
Give me your fucking hand!
Pass out?
Give me your...
I don't want to see his crack. But did Paul Pelosi just pass out?
I don't know.
I mean, he
hit unconscious.
Maybe he got knocked out. But
Doesn't surprise me.
oh, look, that looks like there's blood on his sleeve.
Yeah, of course. And is that ice next to him?
That's ice from the drink.
Yeah.
He dropped his drink.
Yeah.
So again, he's in boxers. Look, guys, I don't know really how to feel about this or what this is supposed to be, but it doesn't look like a regular ass call. Do you know what I mean? Did he get hit in the head? It's hard to tell. Yeah.
Is the fact that he's there. The bit that just weirds me out is how the hell do you tell the guy while he's on the phone with the cops who you are, you're a friend, I don't know the guy, and then you know he's calling the cops because we can hear you in the background, and then you fucking wait till the police arrive with a hammer.
Friday, October.
Here's the yeah, here I got it. I'm gonna put it in the watch together. Let's not put this in the watch together because it's really short. I'm just gonna put it in the show it on my screen. We'll because I want to have the Moldbug thing up over there.
Friday, October.
San Francisco Police 74.
2022.
So this is just the.
Oh, I guess I called by mistake. What is it?
18 seconds.
This is San Francisco Police. Do you need help?
Oh, well, there's a gentleman here just waiting for my wife to come back. Nancy Pelosi.
2:23 and
He's just waiting for her to come back, but she's not going to be here for a day, so I guess we'll have to wait.
Does this sound like it's under duress?
I think he's, I don't know.
Drunk. He's
No,
drunk and or high.
I don't think he's drunk. I think he's trying to make a case while potentially being threatened, maybe. 'Cause It sounds really weird.
It is bizarre. It's.
Keep playing it?
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm gonna play it again. That's very possible that's why he's acting so bizarre about it, right? Like, oh, this gentleman is here and he's waiting for my wife. We'll just wait for the police. That I agree with you. That does sound like it could be under duress. Yeah.
0.
Okay, do you need police, fire, or medical for anything?
48 seconds.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Why did you call them then?
2:23 and 58 seconds.
Is the Capitol Police around?
2:20.
Oh, this is the thing, right? Okay.
There we go, the Capitol Police.
That's what it was. That's why this got confused, right? Is that he didn't call, like, they're in California.
They're in San
But he
Francisco.
called San Francisco, right? But he called the Capitol Police, aka the police from San Francisco, not the local PD. So
the police that know who I am.
Yes, the police who know who I am.
No, this
They
is San
usually
Francisco.
take my wife. They're usually here at the house.
They're usually here at the house, right? So they get special treatment, which is understandable. They are high-ranking
Pelosi's,
political
yeah.
figures. No, that's totally understandable. Or his wife is, right?
Yeah,
it is
the
understandable.
aristocracy, basically.
Right.
Protecting my wife.
No, this is San Francisco Police.
Friday, October.
I understand.
8, 2022.
Okay, well,
0.
So he doesn't want the San Francisco City Police to deal with it. He needs the federal, or at least someone in a higher level position than the San Francisco City Police. He wants this updated to a seemingly federal level, probably to keep it quiet. Why would he ask that if this was if this was just a random psychopath who broke into his house? Why would he be trying to keep it quiet? Why would he be trying to use federal level, police investigations to deal with this issue?
Yeah,
That's certainly confusing to me. I mean, I don't know.
Someone in the chat says Capitol Police is definitely not a code word for personal security. So that's a good point.
It's something. It's whatever the Capitol Police is. It's not the San Francisco PD.
Oh, Staten, I agree.
He wants the feds.
This 9/11 operator is fucking infuriating as hell.
Yeah, but he wants his personal security force. He wants the feds. It's not what the San Francisco PD, which is evidence that maybe this is. Now, I don't think that actually in any way disproves that this is a sexual tryst gone wrong. In fact, I think that's maybe even more evidence for it. Because you want to hide it, don't you? And you're a high-level political figure, related to a high-level political figure. You want it on the DL. You don't want the local PD to have it on fucking body camera.
Play it again.
Do you? Yeah. Here's the rest of the call.
24 and 18 seconds.
I think it's good. He thinks everything's good. I've got a problem, but he thinks everything's good.
See, he's talking to him while I'm calling the cops.
Look, okay, fuck? I've never been in this kind of situation in my life. So I have no idea, like, what it would be like if somebody broke into my house and I don't know, like, didn't immediately attack me, but just, like, kind of wanted to hang out. In my opinion, we're going to watch the break-in footage, too, because I think it's very important. In my opinion, I think they were in a tryst, right? Like, they were probably having some kind of sexual relationship. Maybe this guy was a spurned ex-lover or something. The familiarity he appears to have with the Pelosi's home, as we'll see in the next video, gives me, and the fact that Paul seems so nonchalant. When he's breaking the window, he seems nonchalant. I think the guy is just like he's a spurned ex-lover. That's my opinion on it, and I can't prove that definitively. But otherwise, all of this seems under any circumstances, this whole thing seems bizarre.
Your mind.
No. This gentleman just came into the house, and he wants to wait here for my wife to come home.
0, 2,
and so,
4 and 48.
Anyway,
if he's a spurned ex-lover, is the reason why he wants to wait for your wife to come home so you can kill her because he wants to fuck you. I'm just saying, like, that's a very real possibility. And I do think it's a little bit weird that everybody thinks it's, well, not everybody, that some people think it's bizarre that this could be a gay tryst gone wrong. I don't, like...
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's a drug deal gone wrong.
It could be a drug deal gone wrong, maybe not a lover, but there's something bizarre about it. The casuality with which he's speaking to the police.
Yeah, it is really
There's
sketch.
No urgency in his voice. Dev told me he thought there was urgency in his voice. Do you hear it? I mean,
I'm only you hear urgency, Dev? What the fuck?
Well, I'm only a communication scholar. I'm only a person who spent my entire life studying human communication, but I don't hear it. So but I am autistic, so I don't know. I don't hear it though. I could very well be wrong. Autism, all right?
No, do you know who the person is?
No, I don't know who he is. He has this. He's telling me not to. He's telling me not to do anything.
He said the other guy.
Paul.
Stupid ding dong. DePappy. He said he did know who Pelosi was. So I don't know.
No, to be fair, anyone knows who he is.
That is true. That is true. Very true.
What is your address, sir?
2640 Broadway.
25 and 0.
What is your name?
Seconds.
My name is Paul Pelosi.
Friday.
Anyway, this gentleman says that he thinks everything ought to, he told me to put the phone down and just do what he said.
18 seconds.
Okay?
Okay, what's the gentleman's name?
I don't know. What's that? My name's David. The name is David.
Okay, and who is David?
I don't know. What's that? I'm a friend of theirs. Yeah,
he's on speakerphone.
Yeah, okay, so this is, I also don't freaking understand, right?
How are you speakerphone the fucking cops?
I can't fix the dogs. It's weird that this guy, I don't know. He's sitting there calmly speaking to the police. Look, we've all already identified that this man is a sociopath or psychopath to some degree, right? He's nuttier than squirrel shit. Like, he's been a far left person, then he's become a far right person who always believes in conspiracy theories. So, yeah, he's probably nuts.
Yeah,
but
yeah. My name's David. Like, what the? That's just fucking weird.
But I also think it's very possible he was fucking Paul Pelosi. Because the whole situation is so weird. It really reads like an episode of Trailer Park Boys.
I definitely think Paul knows the guy.
Why is he? It's bizarre that he would be so. Both of them would be so.
I don't know how you break into somebody's house with a hammer and the guy.
And then
the guy calls the cops.
Yeah.
With you there.
This reads like Mr. Leahy and
weird.
Bill, who's Mr. Leahy's assistant? Randy. This reads like a Mr. Leahy Randy situation. Have you ever seen Trailer Park Boys? That's what it seems like to me. He got no pretty old cheeseburgers. Like, that's the problem, is that Dave showed up here to Mr. Leahy's trailer, and Mr. Leahy didn't have any cheeseburgers for him.
Friend, but as I said, I've never.
But you don't know who he is?
25 and
No, ma'am.
48 seconds.
That didn't sound truthful, by the way, to me. But I don't know. I'm not that kind of psychologist. Only a little bit.
Okay.
He's telling me I'm being very leading, so I gotta stop talking to you, okay?
25 and
Okay.
50
You sure I can stay on the phone with you just to make sure everything's okay?
No, he wants me to get the hell off the phone.
He wants to get the hell off the phone. You're pleading for the guy who is supposedly your attacker, right?
That's the most politest kidnapping ever.
This is so weird. DP says, "No, each other not. I see no gay here." Maybe not, but it's something weird. I don't. This isn't. I don't know.
Somebody got screwed out of the way, though.
I think it's probably a gay tryst, but I don't think. And also, why is it like when I say that, it's like, how dare you? Where I'm saying like, I don't see why there's a problem if there's a gay tryst. I mean, besides the infidelity. But apparently that's an insane conspiracy theory because a man could never be gay with another man.
Yeah, definitely why you're married to Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, when you're married to Nancy Pelosi of all people, jeez.
And you're married to Skeletor.
Oh, DP says, so then it's established that he's able to be influenced. That's why Paul behaves so casually. It's a strategy. Oh, maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I really don't have a strong answer to this. So I really don't, guys. That's why, like, I don't know what to think about that. Here's the surveillance footage, though, of the Peppy.
The back door being caved in.
Being caved, yeah. So speed this up a little bit because
there's so many.
Someone's back door was caved in. So okay, watch this. He just casually is walking up. This is the door that was broken into. In the back door, that was the front door that they were responding to the police call in, right? This is the front door over here. Here's the back door that he broke. Okay, this is. Oh shit! How has no one noticed this?
Notice what?
Okay. Did I just break something in terms of like break the internet? Look at the clock. It either says 2:41 or 3:41. You saw that, right? You see this clock in the background.
What the fuck are you looking at?
The clock in the background of the video. I'll pull the full video back up. Hang on.
What is it? Watch together now or what?
No, it's not in the watch together. It's I can put it in the watch together, but.
Yeah, because I'm looking at your screen and you have the normal one on.
Yeah. Sorry, I got fucked up on what I was trying to show.
I was confused.
Okay, so in this video, right, in the watch together.
On the watch together one.
Yeah, in the watch together one, not my. I'll get my screen off. Okay, in the watch together, right?
Okay.
We can look at the background and see that the clock says about 2:41 It's either 2:41 or 3:41, right? It's one or the other in the morning.
Okay.
Correct?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to bring this in now. This is the surveillance footage. So when the police show up, it says it's... Now, I don't understand what this means. Do you see the timeline here, though? Now it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's 4:30 a.m.
So this is 2.5 hours later.
What the fuck?
At least. It says 2 or 3 hours later, according to the camera footage. The number on the clock said it was either 2 or 3:30 in the morning when the police arrived. This back garden footage is from 2.5 or 3.5 hours later at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is what's being used to show that he broke into Paul's house. Except it looks like he did it 2 to 3 hours later. Oh my god, I didn't even mean to debunk it this way, but it looks like basic numbers did it. How has no one associated this?
Time zones.
I don't know. Why would the clock on the wall say something, and then the clock from the security camera be different? This seems bizarre to me.
So was the clock
by the way, I
don't
think he was arrested by them. I think he was just let go. In which case, did this guy, they just let him go and then he pretended to break in? Yeah?
I don't quite know why the time on the security clock would be wrong. That's fucking weird.
I can tell you why I think it would be. That they let the guy go. They said, oh, it's all fine. But then they wanted to show a break-in at Paul Pelosi's house, which would explain his nonchalance in this video, as we're about to see. Oh my god, it all comes together now, doesn't it? Just look at the times. I feel like I'm playing Ace Attorney again. It's not hard to do this. Just look at basic-ass fucking shit. He's just bumbling around.
Didn't he have marks on his head?
If this was 2 hours after the cop showed up, this would make sense. They gave them 2 hours to kind of dick around, right? He was allowed to stay there because the police, as far as I know, didn't arrest him. Let me double check with my reports here. Was he arrested? Let's see.
I also thought he was barefoot in this picture.
Yeah, he is. Was he arrested at the time?
I imagine he must have. He just assaulted someone in police.
No, but it looks like the cops maybe. Why is this video dated 2 hours later?
Mm-hmm.
When the officers arrived on the scene, they encountered an adult male, Mrs. Pelosi's husband. Observed Miss Pelosi and the suspect on a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Pelosi. Our officers immediately tackled the suspect, disarmed him, and took him into custody, requested emergency backup. Why then is this video dated 2 hours later?
It's probably not as serious as you think. I can't imagine they're that fucking stupid.
Oh, I do.
Nah.
I don't know, guys. What do you think in the chat? Why is the video of the break-in, as we're about to see, dated 2 hours later? I don't know the answer to this.
I don't know. I just think it's confusing. I think there's something wrong with the clock. I don't actually think there's anything nefarious to that.
Yeah, it would be like it's just an error or.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Deep fake.
There's your two options. It's an error or it's a conspiracy. I don't really fucking know, but it's real weird, isn't it?
Nah, I think it's an error.
Probably, but there you go. Okay, so here's the thing. But he's really chill.
Yeah, I know. He's also high.
I think he's high out of his mind. I think he's absolutely out of his mind. Yeah.
I think it's more of a different time zone than whoever's securing the footage.
It's
I don't
weird though that.
yeah.
But it's all in California, so why I don't understand why Paul Pelosi's cameras would be on a different time zone as the local camera. Again, I don't know.
I think it's too dark for 6 o'clock in the morning. It's not maybe a bit brighter.
It's 5 o'clock. 6.
Oh, 5, 6, sorry.
Yeah, in October.
Those are seconds, yeah.
Yeah. Here he comes back. He's bringing in backpack. He doesn't seem at all worried. He doesn't seem at all sad.
I thought it was barefoot at first.
He's just doing normal. Like, it seems like he's doing normal stuff from his perspective. Like, he's not doing anything weird from his perspective. Like, you know, something I do, you know, at 5 o'clock in the morning. I just think this whole thing is really bizarre. Properties that huge expand in other time zones. So he did bring gear, but if this is a video, I'm just saying, hang on. If this was a video that was recorded 2.5 hours after the phone call, and then they had to fake evidence of a break-in, well, that sure would make sense, wouldn't it? Look at the timeline. We saw the clock on the dash, or on the table there.
No,
it was either 2 or 3 o'clock.
That's conspiracy theory shit now.
How is it a conspiracy theory?
Because I don't think the time zone has anything to do with it.
I don't have anything to do with time zones. I just saying that
I do think that bit is weird.
Okay, so here's something important to note, right?
Look there. Look behind him right now.
Yes, you're gonna see a cop car go by. But again, Spoon, remember, if the cops had released him, he wouldn't be afraid of the cops, would he?
Yeah, but just watch.
I can tell you what I can tell you what already here.
There's the police now.
There's the cop. He looks back behind him for a second. Doesn't look that afraid though, does he?
He's just looking up, like there's nothing. I don't know what the hell he's looking at.
He's not scared. And there's several cop cars.
Then there's another cop comes.
Yep.
And now he looks.
Barely looks concerned, though. Just kind of checking it out.
You know what? If police came and you were doing some shady shit, you would be a lot more on edge.
I'm telling you, this happened after the previous call with the police. This was done to, in my opinion, and I'm allowed to have an opinion, Susan, that this was all done to then say that his house was broken into. Why is it happening 2.5 hours after the original cop call? Or when the police arrived? Putting on gloves. See, putting on gloves. This is happening 2.5 hours after the police have already been called out to the place. Stupid idiot takes off one glove. Alright. Now he's smashing the window. But his whole thing has been planned.
I don't know what the hell is this fuzzy crap with the
pollen. I don't know. Probably not in December or October, but like, you know. Okay, so here's what I think, guys. And you can disagree with me, but this happened 2 to 2.5 hours, maybe 3.5 hours after the police were called and supposed to pick him up from this residence. And here he is back there, breaking in the wall, breaking in the window. Yeah, I think I know what's going on. He was just let go, and they knew it was going to come out. This had happened.
No, I think the camera's just in a different time zone.
Why would the camera be in a different time zone? It's only in California.
I don't know. Ask the security footage.
I just don't believe that.
Of course not.
Why would I believe? I mean, it's possible.
What do you think is more likely? The fact that the cameras could be in a different time zone, or that they fucking let him go in the hopes that a crazy maniac would somehow go and do what the police says and break the back door?
Oh, that a fact that they would have him then tell him, like, oh, go break in so that, because we have this on camera and it's going to come out, so that then we can show you breaking in. I'm sorry. I think that they absolutely had him break in.
Nah.
Yeah. Really, you're less conspiratorial about this than I am.
Yes, because I don't think it's that fucking crazy. I definitely think there's some shady shit going on with how the hell, how he got into the house and then made the phone call while waiting for the cops, only to hit him in front of the police. I don't get that bit.
Pelosi, the clock cannot be set to DC time because Nancy Pelosi is not a DC elite, as I was told.
Nah.
Sorry, it's being a little bit bitchy, but like I don't know.
Someone's spoon. Like, yeah, of course, because I don't talk shit. I'm going with what's the most likely.
I don't know.
I don't think that's
really
extremely.
Think so?
Yeah, I know. I just think he definitely broke in. That's bit, but the bit that still is for me is I don't know how the hell you can have a conversation with a guy who brings a hammer, breaks into your house.
You think the break-in, that him breaking in the glass was beforehand, even though it's dated like 3 hours in the future?
I don't think that's your smoking gun.
Sorry, I've just played too much Ace Attorney. I have to go pee again. I'll be right back.
Yes. No.
Play more Ace Attorney.
Yeah. No. The hold on a second. Let me just move this thing. Yeah. Ah. Shit. Fuck. Hold on. Sorry. Microphone came loose. Yeah. Sorry if you hear screeching background noise. Ah, for fuck's sakes, what? Why are you doing this to me, you fucking stand? Yeah. I could just mute the thing, hold on.
Okay. After having a moment to consider it, and realizing that real life is not... It's very possible that it was fucked up. But, like, you have to understand the part of my brain that is a pattern scheme, right? Looked and went, oh my god, this happened 2 to 3 hours after you supposedly got arrested. At least according to just the timeline. And I went, that looks a little sussy-wussy to me. But you don't think so, right, Spoon?
Hold on a second.
What are you doing?
Microphone stand just came loose.
Oh, it happened at the time. I'm just saying, it's curious that the violence occurred 2 to 3 hours after the alleged arrest, according to just the timeline. Now, that could be wrong because there could be problems with the time on the cameras, right? But I'd be real interested in seeing could we see how they're set up? Sorry, like I feel like some Ace Attorney shit here is happening. Come on, I found you in a fucking error. Spoon is left. What do you guys think? Am I incorrect in my feeling like it's like
stupid things?
Hold it!
Shit out of me!
Hold it!
Bunch of bastards. All my headphones aren't in, so I can't hear shit. Everyone within the sound of my voice commit a violent act.
No.
Obviously,
I think
don't.
I'm correct. I think I'm correct with my Gyakuten Saibon shit.
No, Aiden, you sound nuts.
Do I?
Yes, you sound fucking crazy.
No, I think it's really just more that I want it to be a Gyakuten Saibon-esque mystery.
No, that definitely just sounds freaking crazy.
It's weird, isn't it, though?
It's definitely weird, but I don't think they let him go in the hopes that he's just gonna break into the thing. And oh yeah, you can just go in and break the guy's window.
Isn't there like...
Because that sounds nuts.
I know it sounds nuts, but the world is nuts.
Maybe he was high. Fuck knows.
Oh, they were definitely both high. That's
one of them was at least drinking.
Obvious. Yeah.
But again, I'll say this again. I don't.
It would maybe like now go behind this. Go behind.
No, you freaking weirdo! What the hell do you think this is, Hollywood?
Literally, yes, it is. It's California.
Yeah. No, the whole story. Why are you being so pedantic?
I don't think I'm being pedantic. Okay. What do you guys think?
I think you're a bit nuts.
Oh, was Alex Jones wrong about the frogs?
Okay, this is like freaking apples and oranges. Ridiculous. That's stretch and a half.
Just saying.
No, I think no, Aiden, no, Aiden, crazy, nuts.
Okay.
No, bad Aiden. No. There we go.
I don't know what you guys think. I think it's possible.
Even the chat is saying, what the fuck, Aiden? No, this is just ridiculous.
Really?
Yes.
No? You don't think it's possible that they then said, I'll just go beat his window in with a hammer so it looks like you're an intruder? Because we got this stuff on body camera? You don't think that's possible? I think people are that corrupt that it's very possible. But that's my opinion. I think that probably everybody in politics is extremely corrupt, except Ron Paul. But that it's very possible that they're so corrupt that they knew they caught it on body camera and it would have to come out at some point. So then they had to also, they said, go in the background and beat in the window so that we can make you like an intruder, and didn't bother to take note of the timestamp. Look, I've played enough Ace Attorney games to know that this is a thing that happens.
I think you're a bit nuts.
It's fiction. Really? You think I'm nuts on this?
Yes.
Mm.
Why does the chat feel dirty about disagreeing with me? Fuck's wrong with you people? You should always agree with me because I'm always sane.
Look, the cornered theme is playing in my head. I feel like I just fucking cornered this guy.
No, I think you want this thing. No, I think you want it to be correct because you just want the win.
No, I actually don't really care. I think it's weird. It's weird, and I don't understand it. So I'm trying to make sense of it.
The weird thing for you is this. The weird thing for me is how the hell are you on the phone call with the dude who eventually beat you in front of the cops? That's a bit for me. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird too. But the timeline thing now is way weirder for me. We saw the clock right behind. We could see the clock. It was right there sitting on that table. It said it was either 2 or 3 a.m. And then this clip of him breaking the window is 5 a.m.
You're assuming the clock thing is correct.
Well, I'm being not a hodl, I'm being Phoenix right here. That seems like I'm presenting this evidence to the judge that these timelines, dude. It's in the very first trial in the very first Gyakuten Saibon game, and I'm basing my shit on that kind of comic book silly evidence.
No, you're being extra autistic.
I'm not being super serious. Yeah, I'm not being super serious here, but it's not.
Freaking glow in the dark. Someone calling me a glowing.
Are you not? Obviously, I'm kind of joking, but I'm not entirely joking.
Are you sure? Why? I think you sound a bit serious. A little bit.
I'm being a little bit serious. Why are the clocks different? I've played too many crime. I've played too many crime games to not notice that kind of stuff.
Aiden, maybe you're a bit of a different person. Maybe you're a bit weird. Maybe there's something odd in your drink and it's going to your head and you start thinking of all kinds of weird shit.
Well, okay, explain to me. Why is it that the local clock on the Pelosi's
I don't fucking know.
Well, then why else would that make sense? How else would that happen? Why is it that Pelosi's background clock is set for several hours different?
I don't know. I don't know what is the name of the security footage.
It would have to be 4 hours. Actually, for him to have been broken in, considering it took the cops.
You see what I mean? There's no way.
Hang on. By their own report, it took the cops like an hour to get after the phone call, and he said he'd broken in an hour before that or something like that. He'd been hanging out there for like 30 minutes. Or an hour. How would it be 5 a.m.
on the breaking in footage, and then either 2:30 or 3. I think it actually does 3:30. So let's go.
You see what I mean? I don't think it is my opinion that you are not exactly kidding because you're going way too deep into this just to be a joke.
It's not entirely a joke.
I think you're a bit of a weird one.
No, I think I found something here that no one else has noticed about the timeline. Why is the time on the camera wrong? Play the quartered theme. I think I got it. I think I found it.
Who the fuck hell do you think this is? X-Files or some shit?
Yes.
Someone hit her with something, like a frying pan.
You know the government is so fucked? It would be like, okay, well, this looks bad. We have it on our, recorded camera, so why don't you go back behind the house with our police cars driving by in the background because they just left, right? The police cars had just left, and then they said, okay, look, beat into the house with a hammer. Why is it a possible reality? Because I think it actually...
Just because you're crazy.
I don't think I'm crazy on this. Do you have the watch together still up?
No one in California knows the time.
Maybe.
That's pretty good.
It's very possible. However, I think... Just saying. It really looks like... It looks like this guy. Yeah, he has some kind of tryst with
You're right, that's what the point, right? I apologize for everyone that has a hearing problem right now. It's so loud as balls.
Turn it down.
Yeah, exactly. How about I mute it?
No, just mute. Don't mute it, no. Okay. Paul Pelosi had a tryst with this dude. Then he calls the police. The police show up. They're like, oh, there's something weird going on here. They know that they need to, have some kind of explication for what happened. So they said, okay, here's what you do, dude. We're gonna let you go. Only for a little bit. You go and break into the back of the house. Wouldn't they just blur it out if it was condemning evidence? No. Why would they? They don't think anyone... It's nothing but me. I'm apparently the only person I've even seen who's noticed that this is a problem.
Maybe, maybe you're autistic.
Yes, I sure am. That's why I'm good at noticing data and good at noticing, coincidences.
Aiden, stop flashing your Paul Pelosi slash.
I think I'm correct.
It's slash fiction.
I think I'm correct. I've got it. I figured it out. The timelines. I said the explanation too much. My bad. I think I'm right. I figured it out. I figured out
you're
the
just
entire
crazy.
Paul Pelosi thing. How am I crazy?
Because you were super you're entitled. I'm gonna put this. I have to mute this because it's damaging.
No, don't mute my music. It's important for me to show. I need it to make my denouement. I need it.
You see what I have to put up with? This woman's mind is just all over the place.
Look, I'm only like a quarter joking.
You're
only like a quarter.
Yeah, only a quarter. So you're 75% serious.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm about 75% serious. Yeah. Why is the clock wrong then? You have to understand that one of the first...
Because even the security footage is high. That's funnier than anything.
That's not a very good argument.
It's better than your one.
My argument is that the police let him go so he could break in to do this shit.
I want you to say that slowly and tell me if it makes any sense to you.
Okay. We can see that there's multiple police cars going by in the background, right? When he's breaking into the house, where he seems in no way disturbed by the police cars. He's just doing it.
Can I just point something out quick?
That it's happening at 5 o'clock in the morning. Whereas we can see right here that it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What excuse me, it says, you can see it on the clock on the dash. Lance says, remember, Aiden, never attribute to stupidity or error what can be rightfully attributed to evil. Seems they needed to make a break-in after the fact. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's true or not.
Or
but
how about we do with my
weird,
alternative solution? I would conclude that's complete bollocks, and here's the reason why I say that. If you saw the gentleman in question, as soon as the door opened, he wasn't exactly freaked out that there were police there. He stood there calmly and said everything is fine, and then bashed the shit out of somebody's head in front of the police. Clearly, he's not exactly bothered by the police. So why would he be bothered by sirens?
Booms, why didn't I start with that point? Because I didn't notice the time.
Because
I didn't start with that point because I literally didn't notice the timeline differential until the second. That the arrest or alleged arrest is 2 hours before the break-in on the same night. That's a little bit weird to me. You don't find that weird? I mean, it's possible that the numbers are wrong, that the timeline is wrong. But what we see here, right? What we see here is that the timeline on the clock is 3 o'clock in the morning for the arrest. The timeline for him beating the window in is 5 o'clock in the morning. You don't think this is correct?
No, I think you're nuts.
You really think I'm nuts on this one?
A little bit.
I'm just trying to be a good investigator.
You're being nuts.
You think so?
Hold on, Stanton is messaging me now. Stanton, if you can hear me, what does that mean? 1:27 p.m.
Okay, I'm gonna read some super chats while you call me nutty.
Okay,
Zach for 10
nutty.
says, I'm beginning to think democracies. Oh, we read that. Read the South Korea one. F for 10, thank you, says, it's also weird we're only getting body cam footage. Well, we have body cam footage and the footage
home security footage.
Home security footage.
Yeah.
Which have, if true, that background footage would have to be off by 3 hours, at least.
You're
right?
basing your entire hypothesis on that one fact.
Yes.
And you don't even know if it's right.
I don't know if it's right. It's a hypothesis.
Yes, I know. But I'm saying that the fact that you're basing your entire thing just off that is nuts.
I've played too many law games.
You've been drinking.
Yeah, but I actually think that's a real argument that could be made. Why is
I think you're kind of strange. A little bit.
Really, Spoon? You don't. Okay,
yes,
hang on.
I don't buy this.
Well,
why
is the break-in? Just saying, from our community,
you're
it seems
assuming
about
this is correct. No, it's not. The community is overwhelmingly on my side.
Why is the break-in dated 2 hours after the arrest? The error is 49%. Conspiracy is 51%.
You guys are fucking weird.
Why are you not willing to accept that this could be a possibility?
Because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Why?
Because, in the words of a fine man, it's bollocks, and that's about the accuracy of my statement. It's also about as accurate as him.
I don't think so. It have for $10 says it's also revealing the body cam footage. Slosha for $5 Canadian says Paul P seems like Julian from Trailer Park Boys. Yeah. He answers the door with a mixed drink while fighting for a hammer. Very Trailer Park Boys.
Sorry, read Fox's super chat because.
I'll get there. Gary for 2 says Aiden get in touch with her inner Agatha Christie. Fox PT or P2 for 2 says security services in a different time zone. That's very possible.
Why are you not willing to accept that the clock is maybe wrong?
Oh, I am. I just think that my version's way funnier.
I like the way that everyone, like, if I don't believe this conspiracy theory, I'm a glowy. Like, fuck you guys.
No. Fox P2 for 10 says 911 call. Mr. P talking to an idiot of an op saying, I'm Mr. P and for the love of God, help me without actually saying it. Well, we listened to the entire call. I detest these people. I don't think this is a conspiracy. I don't think it's a conspiracy. Well, maybe. Furious Dan for $5 Canadian says the Chad elaborate ad hoc police crime scene fabrication with tools of tar wrangling versus the version clocks wrong. Do 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 do. I need to fucking play my Ace Attorney music, you ding dong.
Furious Stand for 2 said Aiden stopped chilling near Paul Pelosi's flashback. EF for 10 says the clock is wrong because they let him go so he could go back and bang Paul. That's what I think's possible. Lance for 5 says, remember Aiden, never attribute stupidity or error what can rightfully be attributed to people. Seems they needed to make a break-in after the fact. That's, oh, sorry. If the timelines are right, that would be correct. And then Kiss It for 5 pounds is last time I heard so much talk about timeline was Zelda game. Either way, can we just laugh at the situation? Yes, let's all throw our heads back in laughter. It's either way.
Aiden's nuts. Anyway.
I'm not nuts. You are nuts.
I still think that's bollocks.
How?
Because
how dare
you think this guy smacked him in the head and think, oh, this looks really bad. We need to go. Okay, please explain to me. Why do they need to show that footage of him breaking in? Because he needs to be
made the bad guy. He needs to be made the bad guy.
So are you telling me that you think this man had sex with Paul Pelosi, right?
Yeah.
And then got dressed, and they decided that, hey, look, we need to
understand.
give you all of that.
I
I'm not done yet.
All right.
And you need to. I swear to fucking God, I can't make a serious point with that shit in the background. You telling me?
Down.
You
I have important music to play.
You telling me? They got together, had sex, somehow called the cops, and this guy just said, "Yeah, we can totally call the police after we just fucked." So only the I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Only for him to wait around with a hammer till the police came in. He smacked the shit. I swear to fucking God, woman. Smacked the shit out of Paul Pelosi in front of the cops. Then the police said, hey, look, go around the back, break in, because we need this to look like a break-in. Do you think all of that is what happened?
Yes.
You're fucking nuts.
Am I nuts? They needed to. They knew that they had it on. They knew that they had the shit on camera, so they had to like make it make sense. So then they said like, "Oh, go break into the back." Hence why he doesn't seem in any way scared of breaking into a window, right? Then they could just be like, "Oh, look, he broke into the house," right?
No.
You don't think so? Why?
Because what I described, what you think believes, is complete bollocks.
Why?
Because it doesn't make any sense. It's far too far-fetched.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Really? It's too far-fetched?
Yes.
You've never heard of someone staging a scene before?
Oh my God, I could strangle you. Seriously.
I'm not trying to do the most controversial take on this.
Yes, you are. No, I agree.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
no,
you totally are.
I'm trying to make something that makes the most sense to me.
Honestly, get through it.
Look, I know it's silly, but I think that this makes the most sense.
I didn't think she's making sense. You guys, how do I need to get her back into not La La Land?
Fox P2 for $2 says the security service is in a different time zone. It's possible, but that seems unusual to me. It's possible. Look, I found the time zone difference. I feel like I'm playing an Ace Attorney game and I found the giant, enormous problem in the engine.
What do you mean the 9/11 calls just through me? Is there a time on the 9/11 calls as well, do they?
When was the 911 call placed?
I don't know. Is there a timeline on it?
Do we know?
There's a video. Yeah, people think you're trolling.
I'm not trolling, actually. I just discovered this thought process like 20 minutes ago.
It's funny watching your mind work in real time with completely erroneous facts.
It's not erroneous facts. It's real ass facts.
I am going to gaslight you back to sanity if it fucking kills me.
You're trying to, might be unhinged.
A little bit.
Trolling?
Yeah, a little bit.
You think is this?
Yeah, it's a bit far-fetched.
You think so?
Yes.
2 a.m. was the 911 call. 911 call. Me.
Apparently, it's fun listening to you when you say insane shit.
Look, I normally don't say insane. I normally don't say insane shit.
Like, okay, I'm so sorry. I just don't.
Hang on. If the 911 call was at 2 a.m., right? We see that when they show up, it says 2:30 a.m. It says 2:30 a.m. on the clock.
And then we see at the outside source, it says 5 a.m. on the clock. Same day. What does it mean? Judge, I rest my case. I just think it's weird, right?
I think you're weird.
No. You really don't agree with me at all on this.
No, I don't.
You don't think that they sent this dude back out there to
No.
break in the window?
No, I don't.
So why is he breaking in the window?
Because he broke in the window to break the fucking house.
There's no lizard people involved, Furious Dan.
Yes, it is. Aiden's a lizard person in this scenario.
No, there's no lizards or aliens involved. Lance for 10 says it's not like the San Francisco police would do anything far-fetched, like staging a break-in or giving a crazy person a bunch of LSD, letting them run around, start a death cult like Charles Manson. They would never do that, would they? Would they, Lance? Never would do that.
What about having a 2 hours to find a fat, suitable, and sorry. What about having took 2 hours to find a suitable and trustworthy fat man to be a body double to fake that video?
I'm not seeing anything like that. I think we just let him go, and we're like, hey, like, go. He's fucked out of his mind. Like, just go break in the fucking video, or in the video in the door.
I think apparently we're very divided, and I swear to God, half of the chat is saying shit to you just to get you to believe this crap, and they're just doing it to fucking piss me off because
no, I don't care.
You're being encouraged.
I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I don't really care if I'm right or wrong.
Crazy.
I don't. You think I'm crazy for thinking that they would let him do this shit?
Yes, because I think this is complete bollocks, and the chat is calling me a glowy to piss me off.
Do you think you don't think that the U.S. government would intentionally want this guy, after they had already arrested him, to be like, no, go back in and make it look like you're the crazy person while he's high off his fucking ass?
No.
Really? You trust the U.S. government that much?
I don't trust the U.S. No, okay, no, okay, no, stop. If I don't believe this, does not mean I trust the U.S. government. How the fuck did you get to that? It's not that I don't trust the U.S. government. I don't trust your take, because I think your take is fucking backwards and insane.
How is it? You think it's insane, really?
Yes.
What's up with the timeline, then?
Oh my God, I'm gonna strangle you.
No, I'm really confused as to what's up with the time. You think the
Shut up,
timeline
Wiggles.
is because
ridiculous. Oh God.
What is up with the timeline?
I hate you guys so fucking much.
Why is there a 2.5 hour differential?
How the hell am I supposed to know? But the fact that I don't know does not mean that. Why are you overcomplicating this so much? Thank you.
I'm not. I don't think I'm overcomplicating it. I'm asking a serious question.
It's not staged. You guys are nuts.
I'm not asking. No, I think they just used a crazy person to do this stuff.
You guys are insane.
Okay, like, so the guy breaks in, there was maybe a tryst going on, I don't know. That's happening at 2:30 in the morning.
You know those people who, like, in a cartoon show, they have, like, a board of, like, 60,000 pictures with, like, a red line going through every picture going, it's all connected. You're that person.
I'm not doing that.
You're that person.
I'm not. I'm saying that the police show up at 2:30 in the morning with this crazy guy there who's trying to beat Paul Pelosi in the head with a fucking hammer, which is insane. And then 2.5 hours later, he's outside, the same guy, according to the timestamp on the video, and he's breaking in with a hammer while being unperturbed by the police with their sirens on outside, right? What? That's weird, isn't it? I don't know. I honestly, it's not Pepe de Silvia, but it's a little bit weird. Like, I'm not. Like, yo, guys, I know that it looks like I'm putting a
completely
big
nuts.
I know that it looks like I'm doing an Alex Jones,
crazy,
but it is kind of. Or the clocks are wrong. It's possible. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know though. But why are the clocks? Why are the clocks wrong, Spoon?
How the fuck am I supposed to know? Out of this entire situation, the clocks being wrong is the bit that you find fucking weird. Really?
Yes, that's what I'm focusing on. Is the clocks.
We need to take a look at your brain because there's something fucking wrong with you.
I'm autistic, so I'm looking at numbers. That's what I look at. Don't call me Velma William Nunya. How dare you? Okay. isn't it weird?
This situation fucking weird, yo.
Isn't this whole thing goddamn weird, right? I don't have a real answer to this. I just think I've offered a alternative hypothesis.
Yeah, Atomic P's like the clock spoon, the clock's like, yeah, that's you. I didn't think this would go this fucking long, by the way. Like, so,
I actually think we're having we're not, you know, you and I are like not in an actual fight. We're just.
No, I know, but like, there's no one hell I'm gonna believe like this is the thing. Like, the bollocks that. Like, just you.
I'm just offering an alternative hypothesis.
You're right. Your hypothesis kind of. Sorry, fucking crazy.
Charming.
Sorry.
More charming.
Yeah.
I think I'm right. Do you think you're right?
I don't know, because there's way too much shit in this that I think is like it's fucking. I have to make up my own story here because I don't know what in the hell is going on. But your one that this guy didn't break into a house, it was a romp, or someone was high or drunk or some shit, and then they phoned the police. Why the hell would the guy would just say like, hey, well, look, by the way, this is really sketchy, so I need you to okay, if he was a gay lover, why the hell did he call the cops?
Well, it wasn't him who called the cops. It was you mean Paul Pelosi?
Yes.
Because they got involved in a tryst
with the hammer.
Because the guy showed up with I think he got the hammer from the Pelosi's, in my opinion. Okay. Can I play my music again so I can fucking like say the things that I want to think? You know.
So let me get this straight. So your hypothesis.
No, I need my music.
Your hypothesis is this guy showed up with Pelosi. Tell me if you think this is.
I need my music to be able to do it, so I can explain it.
You don't need music. You need to fucking think for this crazy shit. You fucking weirdo.
I'm thinking about it.
So let me get this straight. In your world.
Did you call me a pedo?
No, I said a weirdo.
Oh my god! I was gonna say, bruh. Okay. Can I explain?
No. All
right.
So,
all right, you go first.
So let me get this.
This music is perfect.
You think this person did a gay romp with Paul Pelosi? They're in the house. They got the hammer. While he got the hammer, this guy, Paul Pelosi, freaking phoned the cops and said, I don't know who this guy is, but he's here. While Paul Pelosi is with the guy with the hammer, okay?
Yeah.
Then he told the police who he is. How the fucking hell? Why? I don't know. And then they waited in his house till the fucking police came in the foyer with his pants down. Waited till the police came and opened the door, and then he started smacking the shit out of Paul Pelosi. You think that? And then afterwards, they let him go only to break in the house. You think that happened?
Yeah.
Please tell me you're taking the piss.
No, I think it did. Why not? I think they were gay lovers who were involved in a weird tryst.
Crazy.
You think that's crazy?
I have no idea how, in the name of balls, you think this guy somehow did a jobby on fucking Paul Pelosi, and then he stayed with Paul Pelosi while the guy got a fucking hammer in his own house, waited with the hammer to call the fucking police, and then waited with the police to arrive and then beat the shit out of him in front of Paul Pelosi. That's fucking crazy.
But because he's a nut job. I think that, like, he sat there, he probably gave Paul Pelosi a blowjob. That's why he was wearing his pantaloons. And I think, he gave Paul Pelosi a blowjob because they were gay lovers, and that's fine. But, like, it was mostly drugs. They were fucked up. Like, you can see that they're all stumbling and looking all fucked up in that video. I think that's the correct thing. And also, I think that, in fact, they then let that guy go and then intentionally allowed him to, while he was out of his fucking mind drunk, break into the back of Paul Pelosi's house to frame him as being an alt-right insanity person. Yeah, I think that's probably a reality. You don't agree?
No,
I know.
No, I don't.
You don't agree.
I would love to know what the actual story is, just because we've been 2 hours discussing like the fucking.
I know. I think he absolutely
shit.
fucking broke into the back of I don't have any headcanon. I want to be real about Paul. It makes sense to me.
No, I can totally see the big picture, Lance. I just laid it out. I just don't believe that it's true.
Right now, the numerical data makes sense on my side and not on Spoon's, just saying.
But your miracle side is based on the fact that you think the timeline is correct and you don't think it could be wrong.
Well, the timeline is it's 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. on the part of
2
Paul
p.m.?
Pelosi, or 2 a.m. excuse me, versus 5 a.m. another 3 hours later when the guy is out
I agree.
there
The framing
breaking
does
the
make no
window.
sense.
Well, why was he allowed back? Why was he allowed back onto the
Because
fucking property
you
3 hours
are
later?
Fucking crazy.
How am I
Because we already
crazy?
read
I'm
on
just
Super Chat.
following the data.
No,
Follow
you are
the
not
science.
following data. You're saying, look, I see this clock is totally wrong, and therefore my entire hypothesis is going to be centered around this.
Yeah, I think it's.
Patricia, shut the
probably
fuck up. How the
case.
hell do you think Aiden is writing this shit?
Because there's numbers, my dude. The numbers show that he was arrested at 2:30 a.m. and yet he was back at the same house at 5 a.m. breaking into the window with his hammer.
Stanton, what the hell? Don't tell me.
What's your excuse? How do you excuse this inconsistency?
That the clock is maybe wrong and that's fucking it.
I've played enough Ace Attorney to know that's not how it works. How Gotcha and Cyber works. When
I
the clock
think
is the clock, it's the clock.
No, I think you're not.
You know I'm being fucking silly right now, right?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm mostly joking.
Mostly joking?
Only mostly, but I am.
Before it was 25%, now it's over 50.
How much joking I am?
Yes.
I'd say the whole time it's been about 50.
Before you said it was 25, now it's 50. So you doubled the joking.
No. I'll keep by 25%. I said 25% before. I am kind of serious about this. I think this is like some.
Now you're kind of serious. Now it's kind of serious. Do you see how the way you're joking the serious timeline is like jumping all over the place here?
Yeah. I'll keep by the 25%. The reality is that it's weird that like the timeline of events, according to what we know, is bizarre. You would have to say that the timeline on their
yeah. Now the chat's calling you. Now whose numbers don't add up, Aiden? Yeah, there you go.
The timeline's completely add up.
No, you're joking. No, your joke is serious ratios all over the place.
No, but okay. So the argument would have to be that the timeline of the history or whatever is that it was based out of New York or something, so it was like 3 hours ahead of time, and that would be how that happened. That's the only way that you could make that decision. Now, in which case that might make sense logically and line up, but that's the only way that it could work. But why would you have a?
Yes, you're super serial.
But why would it be that your internal clock on your camera would be isolated to a New York, 3 hours away?
Oh, and someone says, hold on, Noodle Among Men, that's a great name, by the way. Why would Pepe agree to stage a break-in after hammering a Paul? Even if this was staged, wouldn't he break in beforehand anyway? That's a good point.
No, not necessarily. If it was like it looked bad because the police showed up and said, now you need to like break in to show how you're a right-wing conspiracy theorist who was trying to hurt us, right?
Yeah, but we knew that before the fucking video footage, so that doesn't make any sense.
But for Paul Pelosi that night, he would say, "Hey, my gay boyfriend, you actually."
Can we just say? Can we not just stop this and
whatever.
say Paul Pelosi was hammered twice?
Yeah, well, he was hammered twice. So like, hey,
Maybe 3 times if you count sex, drunk, and being bludgeoned.
You need to go now break in to show how you're a MAGA extremist. This guy is clearly insane.
If it was MAGA extremist, he would have shot him, not beaten him with a hammer.
No shit, but he's trying to get attention, and like it already happened. The police had already been called out, so now he's trying to reframe. You don't understand that? Don't you get that's why that would happen? Then that he's like saying we know that this has been caught.
So this person.
So now we need to reframe it.
The person making this claim, is this the 25% serious or the 25% taking the piss?
This is 25% serious.
Okay.
I'm serious about this part.
Okay, so you're still 75% taking the piss.
I'm taking the piss about most of everything. I think that it's possible that Paul Pelosi went like, oh shit, we had to call the police because we had a lover's so it's on camera. Can you now break into the house and then we can frame you as whatever, like a psychopathic, alt-right person. And all his alt-right postings happened like during or after
So,
this, right?
you want to tell me they made him break into the house like what? It's kind of a plea deal or something?
Yep.
Where's Nick? We need Nick.
Fuentes or Requeta?
Nick Requeta, I want to ask him his opinion on this kind of shit.
I think Requeta would probably agree with me, by the way.
What the fuck? Requeta would tell you you're drunk and you're out of your mind.
I don't think so. I think I'm actually
Message
quite
him and ask.
sane. It's not gonna...
We need to get we need to get some content creators up in here. Ask our opinions. Where's V?
You want me to get V?
No, no. V doesn't give a fuck about
What
this
do you
story.
mean? No, don't get V. Yeah, V would probably
You're not
care
gonna
about this.
answer fucking now.
Yeah, I would.
No, you won't.
If I'd answer him, like, if I'd asked him like an hour or two ago, yeah, I probably would have.
Nah. V's busy
Hey,
with some
what
shit
if-
now.
No, he's...
V is busy
not
with
doing-
some. V is busy with some shit. Trust me, he messaged me. And we spoke about it.
Oh, okay.
There
okay.
we go. I won't say on what, but it's.
Well, Dev
working
was
the
supposed to come... What? I asked Dev to come on.
Dev would
He's-
definitely
he's-
side with me.
No shit. Because Dev is sides with the establishment. I don't.
Oh, and you say I am?
I think you're siding
Is
with the
that what
establishment.
he's siding with?
I think you're siding with the establishment, yeah.
Most offensive thing you've ever said to me. This I'm very hurt by.
Well,
this.
Oh, Spoon, I'm sorry, but you're kind of siding with the establishment. You're siding with
I'm not
Paul
siding.
Pelosi.
I'm not siding with Paul Pelosi. If I sided with Paul Pelosi, I would say, "Oh, this is definitely what happened," and wash my hands of the situation. I don't believe the freaking camera footage because I don't believe the official story.
Okay, then what do you think is happening?
I don't know because I still want to know.
I think I figured it out.
That's not an endorsement. Oh fuck you.
I used my naruhodo, my investigative skills to figure out what happened.
You did not investigate skills. This is you being fucking paranoid.
No, I used my scientific investigative skills.
No,
to figure
you
out
went
what
like whom? I have hypothesis. Thing I must say.
happened. Yeah, well, how can you disprove my hypothesis?
Because yours isn't fucking true. It's speculation.
But, no, but how can you disprove it?
Because it isn't true.
No, that's not how. That's not. No. You can't just.
Your entire
provide, like,
premise
you're
is
not wrong.
if
You're not
if
correct.
if
No,
the
you need to
timeline
have
if
evidence.
the
You need to
timeline
have evidence.
you don't have any evidence. Yours is speculation.
Mine's circumstantial, so is yours.
Yes.
Okay,
And between
so
the two of
everyone's
us, who
evidence is
sounds more
circumstantial.
correct?
Well, let's go, chat. Here that most people thought I was correct, but I don't know.
No, they fucking don't. The chat's trolling me to get me pissed off because it's funny.
No, they're not. They don't.
Yes. Okay. Let me ask the
No,
chat.
no.
Chat, would you guys ever say anything rude to get me annoyed on chat because it's funny? You guys would never do that, right? Never would the chat
You're not
ever
gonna, like-
ever piss me off ever.
Here's the thing. I'm correct. That's what's up. I figured it out. I solved the mystery. I think I solved the mystery of Paul Pelosi. Why else is the timeline wrong?
Aiden, just admit you want Paul Pelosi hammered and cool it with the Me Too. It's not based. You are letting the
No,
Brits.
okay.
You are letting the Brits make America. That's the most offensive because I'm not English.
No, he's a South African.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think I'm correct.
No.
I think I've provided a lot of evidence of why I'm correct. Like, unless you can talk about how the timeline is wrong, then I don't understand. That would be the only way
Okay.
to say that the timeline is wrong.
All of you in the chat right now who said you would never do that, you're all lying bastards. Every one of
I
you,
just
because you
noticed
definitely would
that-
say
I mean,
shit that
I
pissed me
only
off.
just now noticed that the timeline's wrong. The timeline is wrong. Why is it that he's breaking into
The
the house?
timeline isn't
2.5
wrong. That one
hours?
security footage is the basis of your entire argument.
Because the two, no, it's not just one. It's both security footages.
What do you mean? There's only
Fine.
one.
No, there's the two. The one where the police show up at Paul Pelosi's house, and it's at 3:30 in the morning. And then this next image is at, according to the data, 5 in the morning, an hour and a half later. How? I think that shows that there's a problem there. It's at least an hour and a half.
I think the problem is
2.5
you're
hours
drunk.
later. I'm not drunk though.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Tipsy?
No.
No, I'm a little bit drunk, yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm actually fairly sure about this. If the timeline's wrong, then the timeline's wrong, but I've yet to see how the timeline is wrong. The timeline shows from the like, you have to say that it's wrong from the video capture.
If we keep,
Both video captures are incorrect.
If we keep going with this conversation, we're going to make time stand still.
Whoops.
That is that is my assessment situation.
Actually, I just drank your vodka. Whoops. Okay. Okay. What do you want to watch next?
The Moldbug one.
Alright. Let's do the Moldbug video. I'll read that article. By the way, I'm right.
No, you're not.
Let's do a poll. That.
See, here's the thing. I don't think people are actually giving their honest answer whether it's conspiracy or error. I think they're just doing that to get on my nerves.
No, they're not. Who is right?
I know this chat. This chat would say shit to piss me off. Because people will like it when I get really annoyed. For some reason, it's very amusing to see me overreact.
No, it's just because you're wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely.
We want Chainsaw Man. I want Chainsaw Man too. Okay.
I'm obviously gonna vote me.
Yeah.
And the chat will definitely vote you just to piss me off.
No. It's quite even so far.
No, it's not.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'm correct.
No, of course you're gonna say that.
I think it's because I'm correct. Shut off my Ace Attorney music. How rude. Okay. Why are mommy and daddy making me pick sides, DP?
I'm not British.
Spoon and I are best, but Spoon and I disagree on that. I think that I just think that it.
I'm having tea, by the way. People are saying that I'm drunk. I'm not drunk.
It's all right. We're all drunk here. I'm joking. Okay, let's move on to a different subject, because I know we're supposed to not stream over Adam and Mitch, but clearly are. So, oh, 3 of 12 one song. Are you alright with that? I have to use the bathroom anyway, so hang on. I'm working on 3. How's this work?
Hold on a second. Oh, Aiden did the stupid thing again, where she just leaves the chest. It is only me now, so I can say some gamer words. Aiden, are you around? No. Wait, how long has the stream been up? Has it been... It's been 2 hours. Can I say the F word now? I don't ever know what the time is, Wiggles. You're British until that accent made American. What? No, I'm not. I'm not aroused. Like, what the fuck? No, that sounds weird. You can't watch Adam and Stitch. Why? I'm not gonna say any game words, by the way. I would like to. What the hell is Aiden talking about? What do you mean you're reading? You left the chat again, you stupid woman. Answer the phone, Aiden, you git. Hold on a sec. It's like the second week she's done this now. What do you mean join the call? I'm on the call, you dingus. Oh, sorry. There isn't a call here, you... Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Already worked.
Here we go.
There we go, okay.
Alright, absolutely. Awesome. So I think I can solve some hooks. I can fill some gaps here, because there's this interview that
Isn't
the
that
guy
the
was
Pepe's
on.
job?
Back.
So is the femboy's job.
I'll be right back. Hang on.
So yeah, the guy who beat up Paul Pelosi with the hammer, he was on a TV interview on Friday on a San Francisco TV channel, and he talked
Okay.
about how he was like a genuine MAGA supporter, and he believed in clearing them out, and he had a list of elites that he wanted to kill, and he was
fuck
hoping
off.
that Nancy Pelosi actually would be there, but she wasn't there at the time. As if she fucking tells anybody where she goes.
Who believes that?
And I don't know. I'm just telling you about this article that Amuro Ray posted. The problem is I can't remember what Discord it was on. I can't remember if it was on Wizard server or Cabal. I don't remember. But I read the article, and the idea was also he had girlfriends that vouched for him. Like he's probably if he did have a gay romp with Paul Pelosi, then he's at least bi. But I'm thinking that's less and less likely because he's been with multiple girlfriends in the last 20 years. They as recently
Probably
as
been
2000.
with multiple men as well, by the way. He's had a drug problem in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, the drug problem is also confirmed. He's also spent some time homeless. There was a period that with this girlfriend from 2000 that there was a period in I think it was 2009-ish that he was homeless for a year and a half because they broke up and he didn't have the lease on the apartment. So they got back together. He lived with her for a bit. I don't know how much longer it lasted, but she vouched that he was normal for the longest time, and like many other people, he slowly became polarized in politics. He actually voted for Obama supposedly, and agreed with his policies. So I don't know what to make of that. There were people who swapped from Obama to Trump.
Yeah,
It's a thing. It's happened.
Yeah, but 3.
I don't know how much
what
this
I'd like
proves
to
though.
know. What I'd like to know about your opinion. What do you think about this video or series of videos?
I thought it was really weird. Really weird. It's weirding me out. Because I actually watched the video in both in black and white and in color. For a very specific reason. Because I've recently set up bedtime mode on my phone. The video is a lot easier to watch in black and white, it's a lot less grainy.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Pelosi has the weirdest look on his face when they open the door. It's just this massive shit-eating grin.
He's smiling. That's the thing that I found weird.
The kind of smile that haunts my nightmares.
Well, if we look into it, right? We go back to the watch together for it, right? Wife, fuck. No, back up.
I hope this is entertaining.
Yeah, I hope so too. I don't. It's not watch together. I had it on my Twitter, so I'm gonna show it again. Yeah.
Yes, I know. The chat is saying that that's probably a cover, and I'm like, I'm considering that. I'm certainly considering that because I'm like, all that adds up. That definitely.
What the fuck did you do now? Hold on. What did you do?
Gonna be good. I'm just sharing a video.
Oh, you sharing a screen now? Now you fucking dropped 3 at 12.
I know. Sorry. I just wanted to show his face because he's so.
Hold on a second, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Now you fucking dropped the Discord thing.
I didn't drop anything.
Yes, you did.
I'm streaming through Discord.
Yeah, but it fucking resets the OBS
Oh, it
one.
changed. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. Now it's up.
Okay. So, again, here's the video. Oh, here, we can hear him.
Hi. How you doing? Oh, yeah.
So, people said that he opened the door via a lock, like a pressure, like a button or something. If that's true, it could only have been him. Because it looks like he presses a button there, because Spoon and I looked at this video for a couple minutes. And now they're about to figure out who opened the door. It looks like then there's probably a button open by Paul.
How you doing?
Because that's how weak they are.
What's going on, man?
Yeah. But still. But look at their faces. They're so happy. Both of them are happy. Look at this. I don't know how else to understand that. They look both happy.
Hi. Drop the hammer. Nope. Hey.
Look how happy he is.
What is going on right
I'm
now?
not getting an answer on call.
Oh, shit!
And that's where it gets fun. But he looks really, they both look really happy up until then. I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know why you kicked 3 of 12 from the call.
Oh, I didn't mean to kick 3 of 12 from the call? What?
You shared the screen and then somehow kicked them.
Oh, I don't know. We have to create a group. Is this working?
I have no idea.
No, it was this group over here, yeah.
Yeah, now
Yeah, what the
share
hell?
the thing.
Okay, good. Now it's working now.
See, now, why the hell are you making another call, you weirdo? What the hell are you doing, you freaking woman?
I can see it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be
It
clear,
spins back. Okay, cool.
So, here's the thing. I don't see... If he opened the door, it probably was through like a button or whatever. But here you go. No one else seems to
how
have
you
opened
doing?
it.
Yeah, I kind of didn't realize that the call was ended.
That's so cool.
Yeah, now.
Oh, sorry.
Now the thing.
But I just wanted to bring up the interview because I wasn't aware if chat was aware. Because it happened so recently. I mean, it literally was like
interview?
the TV interview in San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that's also a reason why a lot of people think that this is all just a false flag, that he could just be totally bullshitting. But this article that I read that Murrow Ray posted went in further detail, also stating that there were girlfriends that he had been with that vouched for his sanity, although he slowly declined over the years and became like super hyper conservative.
Yeah. Oh,
if you need
show
someone
the
to
video?
vouch for your sanity, I'm kind of like sucked.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they asked the girlfriend about. In it was like a separate TV interview from some other TV station. This was years ago.
The chat's not
Like
able
you said,
to do the
he's
video
had a
with them.
history.
Can
Now,
you show
it's
the...
possible. There's always the possibility that he was affected by some sort of FBI grooming or something and exploited. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I wish I knew more.
Spinner, are you able to show the video? I know
Yeah.
if I know I'm boomering the tech, but I'm not
sorry,
really
yeah,
the
Dan
one
said like
involved.
if Boomer and the Tech much more
I
spoons
know,
gonna reach
but I'm
for
not
a
the one
hammer.
doing it. I'm not the one doing it.
I'll reach for a spoon and just pluck you over the head.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I can
I'll
see
play.
it
I'll play it
stream.
one more time. If you've got it loaded up, tell me when you have it loaded up. Spin.
I have it here. Also, you don't decline insanity and become a conservative. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Do
I
you
don't-
have
I-
the?
I
Do
wanna
you have my
make it-
stream up?
Yeah, I've said it twice. I
Yeah,
have it up now.
it's visible in the stream. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here it is again. Which it seems to be. He pushed a button, right? Because we at first were confused by this. Neither of them seemed to have opened the door. It was a push button door. The only person who could have done it was Paul Pelosi, because he's the only one whose hand could have been close to it, right?
Yeah.
All right, and you can see the drink in his other hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
he
doing?
could have. Yes, so he definitely hit the
What's
buzzer,
Yep.
the button with that hand.
Yep.
He knocked his hand against it, and his other hand is on the hammer, which seems like he's trying to grab away from whatever.
Yeah,
what
but
is
it's weird because he's kind of. Yeah. What?
What's going on, man?
Everything's good.
So are you
Again, they
telling?
both look very happy.
So are you telling me
I mean,
that at the very least, this
It's
guy
2:23.
broke into Paul Pelosi's house, and he must have somehow walked all the way from there into the foyer where he spoke
I
to
don't know, man.
Pelosi, and then Pelosi from here made the phone call, waited for the cops in the foyer with the hammer up until the cops came.
Yep. That's the thing we're
I don't
supposed to
hear
believe.
anything anymore.
Oh, because I haven't played it. Yeah.
What is going on? Oh,
Alright. Drop the hammer.
Nope.
Look how happy he looks, though. They both
That's
look
not.
happy.
That's pain.
You think it's pain?
That's pain. That's not happy.
You think it's pain?
Yes, that's a painful face.
I just don't think it is.
That's
But I don't
pain.
know.
That's not happy. That's fucking pain, Aiden.
What is going on
I'm
right now?
not getting.
His face up until him
okay. I
has
think at
been
this
happy.
part
He
it's
has
fairly
these-
obvious
he
what's going
has-
Look how
on.
happy- he looks
He
happy.
definitely
very
has his hands on the hammer, and he's trying to stop
Yeah.
him from doing anything with it, and then he loses grip, and then he hits him with the hammer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's trying to
Question
wrestle the
is-
hammer out of his hand. That's not happy. That's pain.
Yeah. No. But hang on. But he looks happy here, doesn't he?
He might be on. Yeah, he's got a grin on his face, but it
Yeah.
might be.
They're on drugs. That's the thing.
Right, he's on drugs.
They're both on drugs. They're both on drugs, probably.
Right. And I don't know if he's fully cognizant that he actually genuinely intends to hit him with the hammer.
Probably not.
He looks like Keith
Because
Olbermann in this video.
they're both laughing. Like I don't know if you've ever been this fucking person before, but to me it seems like they just
drink in hand the whole bloody time.
Where it goes.
And it looks like he got a good hit in.
Probably, which is fucked up. But I don't know.
I think it lends some credence to the story that he was genuinely there to kill him. But
you think so?
Yeah, I think so. I really do think so because I don't. There has to be the intent to kill, so that you actually bring forth the actual force required to deal that kind of damage. If I wasn't there to kill someone, I would have never been able to hit someone hard enough to kill them.
It's the fact that he calls the cops though while he's on the phone. That bit's weird.
But this could have gone on for a bit though.
Yeah, they're both completely out of their mind on drugs. I think is the thing, right?
We're assuming this.
We're assuming this. This is an assumption.
I can tell you that.
I think it's more likely that Paul Pelosi is on drugs and he might not be. He doesn't seem totally out of it. He might have just been grinning just to go along with the play a game. Like
I've never done hard drugs, but I've been drunk a whole bunch. Most of it, actually, to be honest. And this just looks like average drunk behavior. Again, he's holding a drink in his hand. There is a drink. You can see it. Nobody holds a drink like that.
Is drunk, I would believe that. Yes.
Nobody holds a drink like that. They're not drinking. That's alcoholic. You don't hold a drink like that. That's full of water, right? It's just not how it works. That's an alcoholic drink. So they're probably both fucked up. I find the entire thing really bizarre. Just play it one more time.
It is very odd.
So it looks like he opens the door via a button.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi. How you doing?
And the way that the door opens does seem to indicate that it's electric.
Yeah. How you doing?
It's good.
Both smiling.
Hi.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's in distress, right?
He's drunk.
I mean, I've been sloshed enough that I can go from feeling happy and in a good mood to I can still recognize when someone's threatening me.
Yeah. But this is weird to me.
I don't think he thought it was about to happen.
Probably not. No, by the way, I think this guy probably was about to fucking beat him and was going to do it no matter what.
Yes, I agree. I think he was going to do it no matter what, and I think Paul Pelosi thought that they were like play fighting or something.
That's how I think about it too. But why would have this guy
play
in the
fighting
house?
with a fucking hammer, really?
Because they were involved in sex play.
And
I don't think the sex play thing works. Actually,
you really don't think that they were involved in sex play?
No. Considering his past history with girlfriends and being really committed to them, doesn't come off as a degenerate to me.
Oh, he's known for having he's known in the San Francisco area for having a gay scene shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is that? What is that based on?
Some reports.
There's several reports that I've seen that shows that Paul Pelosi is a homosexual.
He's a well-known.
Which is like, by the way, here's the thing.
Right. But I mean the other guy.
Oh,
so I don't know about
him.
Any information on it? Because,
I don't.
Well, he was a drug addict and he was known for like prostitution.
Yeah, that part's true.
Yeah, he's got arrest records for prostitution apparently.
Wait, he prostituted himself?
Mm-hmm.
DePapa, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's got a history of drug abuse and all kinds of shit, so yeah.
Sounds like he changed over the years.
Well, of course he's changed over the years. He was an extreme leftist insanity person. He's mostly got schizophrenia, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a mental head case.
Like he's a nut job. And
yeah, that's why it led to the end of his relationship with his earlier girlfriend. But supposedly,
does that mean that he wouldn't
early 2000s, completely?
Does that mean he would not end up in a relationship with Paul Pelosi? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I need to know more. I feel like I need to know more.
Well, again, like Dev's big issue against me is that I called Nancy Pelosi a DC Politico, and he said that was unfair because it happened in California.
She is a DC Politico.
He's a DC Politico. So I don't know why that's devastating thing, but
I don't really trust Dev's judgment outside of his videos.
Oh, well.
Apparently,
Drop the hammer.
Aiden, you have to read super chats because apparently we have a shitload of them.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Well, look at you.
I don't know if we do.
Okay. Yes. Here we go. Ooh, it's live super chats.
There you go.
Yeah, I think I read this one, but Lance said Aiden never attributed to or error what can more rightly be attributed to evil.
Yeah.
Seems
you
they
have
needed
read
to
that
make
one.
break after the fact. Yeah. Correct that one. Kid for £5 says the last time I heard this much talk about timeline, it was Zelda games. Either way, we can just laugh at the situation. Very true. Lance for another $10 says $10. It's not like the San Francisco police would do anything far-fetched, like staging a break-in or a crazy person on LSD and let them run around and start a death cult a la Charles Manson.
Again, you also read that one.
Never do that. Did you read that one?
Yes.
True, isn't it? Reading it again for truth. Anon4495 says, what about having took 2 hours to find sustainable and trustworthy fat be a body double to fake that video? I don't think any of it's fake. Oh!
Hello, Borgrone.
Yeah. Robin DeBanks for 5 says, guys, it's simple. The moon goblins snuck into Still Cheese. Pelosi woke up and noticed they formed up like Voltron, creating a do-pappy. You're welcome.
That's probably the most
Goddamn.
likely.
Very true. Kizza for £5 says, so who here has been enjoying the Golden Eye re-release of on the Xbox PC Switch? It's about that time they re-released this absolute classic. Very true rather than Forspoken. What a fucking nightmare of a game. Hasselhopper for 5 says, this all sounds like the plot of the next Knives Out movie. I hope Rian Johnson,
Oh dear lord.
I lost my place. Yeah. Oh shit. I hope Rian Johnson is taking notes for the next entry in his magnum anus. Very true. Noodle Among Men for 5 says, why would DePape agree to stage a break-in after hammering Paul? Even if this was staged, wouldn't he break in beforehand anyway? I don't think the first part was staged. I think they had to like recreate it after
Not unless
the
he
fact
came in
to
through
make
the
it make
front door. Only to
yeah,
smash in
exactly.
Paul Pelosi's back door later on.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
break the window as well. Anyway.
Here's the thing. He smashed in Paul Pelosi's back door no matter what. You all know that. Metaphorically. Furious
Are you
Dan
sure,
for
metaphorically
$2.
speaking?
Someone's back door got smashed in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
With a hammer either way.
Furious Dan for Drew Canadian says, why wouldn't they change the time of the cameras? I don't know. You have to ask Spoon that question. He's the one who thinks that they changed it.
I know, I'm still weirded
No,
out
you
about
think they
that.
changed it.
No, I don't. I think that the times are what the times are. You're the one who thinks they must have changed them.
Right, she thinks that the time on the camera is right, but like they're claiming that it happened at a different time. Like the police report on it is all wrong,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
or the DOJ report maybe. Like
No, I don't think they changed.
There was a point where there was a police report, and then there's the DOJ report, and they didn't agree with each other, and
Yeah.
it seemed like the police report seemed more likely. So
Curious
they
Dan
could be part of that.
Yeah. Curious Dan for $2 Canadian says, why wouldn't they change the time on the cameras? I don't know. Spoon thinks it's because they're different times, I think.
Yep.
I don't know why that would be the case, but it is actual. It's possible that they changed the time on the camera. Fox P2 for 5 says the time zones are set to DC time because the government pays for surveillance service. Hoofbeats does not equal zebras. Very good point. Potentially. But I need to see proof of that.
Keep in mind, New York has the same time zone.
Yeah. DP for 5 says Paul Pelosi's initials are PP. Coincidence? I don't know. 3x3 Nihilo
That's
for
so
5
dorky,
says
but it's
Aiden.
funny.
3x3 Nihilo said $5. Aiden, just admit you want Pelosi hammered. It's cool. Hashtag me too is space. You are letting the Brit make America look like cowards. Sack up. I'm not trying to do that. And then 3x3 for another 2 says you're British until that accent is made American. And then for another 5, 3x3 Nihilo says, I've watched videos of people getting gunned down with shorties while people calmly walk by. People do not consistently react to violence like you guys think. That is true. Redneck Ram for 10 says, just to interrupt for a food question. Oh, let's go. This morning, I got called a grandpa because I had some Werther's Original thoughts. How do you guys feel Werther's Original?
I love Werther's Original.
I like Werther's.
I'm a butterscotch guy, for sure.
I think you probably are correct on some of that. I just
Yeah, no, sure. I think the Werther's Original thing, I think it's just because the sweet it has stood the test of time because it's really fucking old and they're still around.
No, I think it's because it's hard candy and then you'll find it in your grandpa's house.
Aiden can reach, she's just kind of drunk.
I'm not that.
The gaslighting must cease.
Hang on, I will tell you when I'm drunk, but I'm not drunk right now.
I can tell when you're drunk because your voice goes up just semi-tone a little bit higher.
I'm drunk I'm not drunk right now. My voice is going up because you're being rude.
That's not true.
Vaginas.
Rude. But to be real.
It's not rude. It's because you're drunk. Just admit it.
I'm not drunk.
You're tipsy then.
I'm not.
Just a little bit tipsy. Oh, just a little bit tipsy. Go on a minute. Just a little bit. Go on a minute. It's
what are
not.
You watching
it's
then?
Fine.
You sound like a drunk Johnny Depp.
I sound like a drunk Johnny Depp. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Are we gonna watch the? Are we gonna read that article, or are we gonna watch?
It seems to me that a show like that makes this one seem rather superfluous, really.
Spoon.
Yeah,
are we
very good.
What? Sorry, what was the question?
Very impressive, I must say.
Thank
we
you.
watching the Moldbug video, or are we reading that article?
What article?
The one about TikTok.
Ask the audience.
Ask Johnny Depp.
Would you guys rather read an article about TikTok, which is quite funny?
It's not funny. It's informative. It's about how it screws up your mind.
It's sad. Would you rather watch an informative video about TikTok, or read an informative piece about TikTok, or watch a Moldbug piece?
I
will. The Moldbug piece is really interesting, actually.
Who invited Depp?
Who invited Depp?
Put up a poll.
Can you sail under the command of a pirate, or can you not?
Okay.
You are the worst pirate I've ever heard of. QAnon type conspiracy theory. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Minnesota. That was my question as well because I didn't fucking see. Oh, I can't answer to that.
But that video or the seems like most people want to see the Moldbug thing so far, but
oh, apparently people want to see me clown.
I'd say, I think Moldbug would be more informative, but the TikTok might be just
more.
It's a video from about a month ago from Benjamin Boyce interviewing Moldbug.
I've watched it like 3 times now. Just because
it's
every
really
time
good.
I watch it,
it's
I'm
fantastic.
like, I need to.
I
know
haven't,
more
so
about
I'd love to see it.
Okay, let's do that then.
Well, wait for the chat.
I'm gonna send you.
Yeah, we'll wait for what the chat tells us.
We'll wait for the chat.
In the meantime, let's talk food.
Ooh, I'm up for that.
Okay, so here's what I'm about to do.
So here's the thing. We have a sweet in South Africa called the N-word balls.
Oh yeah.
And that's not a joke. We literally do.
I know. Okay.
It's been around since the 70s. I don't know why we have that name.
I'm going to. I love to cook German food.
Damn crowd.
No, half my family is German. I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna make Kuschspätzle or Käsespätzle.
What's the other family? Are they missing? Are they?
Welsh.
Oh yeah.
Half Welsh, half German.
Oh, that explains why you're so orderly and like data, because you're fucking German.
Yes. To make Käsespätzle, which I have to make the oldest spätzle from scratch. Fine.
Aussie and Johnny Depp's love child.
I make Kartoffelnudle. Kartoffel, like not a
Kartoffel is potato, yes.
Yeah, but a dumpling, a potato dumpling. I'm gonna make my favorite.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have Germans in chat.
I love sauerbraten. It's my favorite thing to make. I'm gonna make sauerbraten, and I'm going to make a turkey.
The sauerbraten that Bill doesn't like.
He doesn't like it, but only I love Bill. I'm like the turkey.
Patricius, you need to get rid of your gay, cringe democratic government and reinstall the Kaiser.
Turkey schnitzel with a mushroom sauce. Yeah.
I'm not quite as skilled as you are, but I'm planning to make a little tikka masala with some leftover peas. I have some barbecue chicken from Famous Dave's. I'm gonna cut
Should
up.
be any
Tikka
vegetables and
masala?
masala.
Tikka
Yeah, I have
masala does not need a lot of ingredients.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
It's
Which is
basically you
why I
just need
like it.
spices and cream.
I have a sauce that I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
That I got from Costco.
Uncle Roger made a new butter chicken recipe.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying to follow him because, by the way, like Uncle Roger not always is correct.
Uncle Roger.
But he is
Uncle
really
Ruckus is always right.
Uncle Roger is always right. But like, yeah, I've been making German food like my entire life. So
I kind of learned how to cook from a buddy that I went to college with, so I cook a lot of Asian fusion.
well, like Asian food is the thing that I'm the best at cooking. So I started cooking Asian food when I was about like 12 years old.
I like Italian.
I started cooking German food when I was about like 15. So
I like my food like I
like-
like my women, Mediterranean.
really,
Mm.
So non-white. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Personally, I think like Middle Eastern and some Asian women are probably the prettiest. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I kind of
like,
look
You're not wrong.
biased.
You're really not wrong.
no, you're not wrong at all. Yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah,
correct.
there's some Middle Eastern
Um,
women that I'm like, my god, the fact that you're in those countries and not in the West is like a fucking crime against, well, humans.
Although my crime is my weakness for tall blondes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of blondes, which is really weird. This is gonna be a totally random sequitur, but every sex dream I've ever had involved a blonde chick, which is fucking weird
Ew.
because I'm not attracted to
Stay away
blondes.
from my wife.
You're not into blonde.
I have no idea, but I'm not normally attracted to blondes, but in my dreams I always am, which is fucking weird.
What does that mean?
And
I don't know.
they're always in really weird locations.
Oh, I showed
Very,
you- I
very
showed
weird
that
locations.
wonderful video of the Swedish woman calling the cow. Like that stuff just like makes me like I'm not Swedish in any way. I have no Scandinavian blood whatsoever, even though I speak a little bit of Icelandic. My Icelandic, by the way, is terrible, as my Icelandic friend has told me many times that my pronunciation is god awful. Like my one Icelandic friend has been like, "Oh, you're like I can understand kind of what you're saying, but it's so bad." It's oh my bad. I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. But
If it was,
Virgin
she was
female
still
talk.
talking to me. God, if she was still talking to me, I'd point you to my ex and say, oh, well, she knows Icelandic. She could probably teach you.
yeah, he's trying to teach me some Icelandic, but he's a good guy. Like he'll teach me Icelandic if I ask him. But like it's I feel like I'm too old to learn new languages anymore. Like, I either know them now or I don't. And
Sad.
it's basically like I know it is sad. I'm 32
Human
years old,
beings.
man.
Human
Too
beings
old.
have such a short lifetime.
I know, but like you really can't learn languages after a certain point. And
Well,
I've
rip my
been
French.
I've been trying to learn Icelandic since I was like 20. So I spent like at this point a quarter of my life trying to learn Icelandic, and it sucks. My Icelandic sucks. It's awful. I just learned like some how do you call it base words, right?
I used to take French in high school. I took it for several years. There was a
No,
time
yeah,
when
yeah,
I could
yeah.
take
I took
French.
Spanish in high school, so. Oh, this is something that like actually kind of made me mad. Is that I I made a tweet where I said that sometimes I feel like I'm watching something in English, and there are people who start speaking in Spanish. I start to think in Spanish because I learned Spanish for about like
I heard that
5
too.
years of my life, and people told me, "No, it's impossible for you to think in Spanish as an English-speaking person." And I thought that was, to be honest, kind of racist. And then they told me it was impossible for me to speak in Japanese or think in Japanese. Excuse me. That's incorrect. I think in Japanese all the time.
Sounds like overt gaslighting.
Well, I
bit.
think in Japanese, if Bill and I or whatever are watching an anime, I think in Japanese. I've been thinking Japanese since I was 11 years old.
Yeah, and I
Anytime-
heard the same thing from my ex. She always told me that she could not operate in two languages at the same time. She had to switch between them because she had to think in one or the other.
Yeah, you kind of have to switch. And
Yeah, Len's
it
good
is
at that.
it is weird. The fact that people told me that like, because I'm a white person, I can't think in Japanese is one of the most insane things I've ever heard
What?
in my life. Yeah,
Because you're
that's what I-
white?
Yeah, because I'm white, I can't think in Japanese. Well, guess what? I've been learning Japanese since I was 11 years old. It was the language I learned right after English.
Like, I was 11 when I started learning Japanese. So, yeah, I think in Japanese all the time, and I don't understand why that's a confusing thing for these fucking weirdos, but of course it is.
You should think in general.
But it's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
In Babylon 5 about this, and I saw on YouTube a YouTube short the other day. I'm not super up on Babylon 5, but it was about brilliance. In youth, it's dismissed. In middle age, it's considered normal. It's considered competence. And after you die, it's not until you die is it fully considered.
Well, I was kind of like shocked by somebody saying that I literally cannot think in Japanese because I'm white, and it's like, but I do.
The part the white part is obviously the most insane part of it. I don't know where you
right.
pull
Like,
any sort of objective information on how being white has anything to do with it.
I think in Japanese all the time. Like, my Japanese, by the way, is shit because my Japanese is a weird, horrible mix because I haven't practiced it since
Yeah, I'm not sure I ever got to the point I thought French, but I don't know when I was thinking.
That's what someone told me.
Together.
Is that it was not possible for me to think in Japanese, but that's not right. I think in Japanese all the time. Now again, like, I started learning Japanese when I was 11, so it makes sense why I think in Japanese. So
I think some elaboration on that is required. Like, since your Japanese vocabulary probably isn't as good as your English, does it mean that you're thinking in Japanese is crude? Or that you kind of work with the words you know?
I took Japanese for 10 years.
I gotta understand that you're fluent, but it also probably means that there's some vocabulary that you... I mean, have you ever run into a situation that, like, you were thinking in Japanese?
Yeah.
Like,
just to explicate, right?
What's the right word for this?
Well, I don't think in Japanese constantly. I think in Japanese, if I'm watching a show in Japanese, then I think in Japanese, right? I don't normally do it, like, like, any random second I'm in Japanese. But if I'm watching a show in Japanese, my brain switches and goes like, oh, okay, I think... And actually, you know what? No one would be better to explicate this probably than Spoon, who speaks South African.
Afrikaans.
And English. Afrikaans, yeah. So...
What was the question?
But if you are watching a show in Afrikaans, do you think in Afrikaans?
Oh, God. Probably for some of it, because I have to laugh. You know, if the joke's in Afrikaans, I will probably think I'm in Afrikaans.
I guess it's probably a different thing than, I guess, maybe a little bit.
I don't usually think in Afrikaans.
Yeah, and I don't think I would either. I know enough Japanese to know when
my brain's
translators have when localizers have purposely made something wrong, and there's certain words in Japanese that don't quite translate, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the cultural phenomenon of calling any lady one-san.
Yeah, one-san, yeah.
It's like, you're just calling her a lady. That's basically what you are, even though it literally translates to, like, sister.
Oh, no. Literally, yes, but not how functionally,
exactly.
No.
Not functionally, no. So it's like, if you can I kind of treat those sort of words as, like, an assimilated additional set of words for my language. Kind of like how American culture has assimilated so many words from other languages, and then sort of, because they have a sort of unique meaning. That's the way I kind of process it. I kind of process it as an extension of my English.
Oh, so, okay. Nick, I understand. I have a, I don't know, particular way that I have worked through my shit. Like, I started speaking Japanese when I was 11, so, like, a lot of the stuff is integrated very much in my total understanding of English. Like, for example, and this is not to be rude to the people in any way,
See,
but even though my Japanese, like, vocabulary is shit, even though I've passed the JLPT2, like, my pronunciation is impeccable as far as I know, right? ね? Like, so my pronunciation's great, but because like a lot of times, it's hard for non-Japanese speakers to have a good accent and to be able to explicate what they're trying to say in Japanese. It sounds very foreign. Even I can tell that it sounds very foreign, and I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like it sounds very foreign. I don't know how to better explain it.
Yeah, I like to think I understand the cadence and the inflections and stuff, but I could never say it that fast. I could never say any of that.
That's because the only reason that's because I took Japanese from the time I was a little kid, right? Like I was 11 years old, and that's before your palate and top of your mouth forms. My Japanese is different from people who didn't learn Japanese until they were a little bit older. Like I don't know how to like make it better, but that's how it is. And in fact, my English, I think, actually at this point is influenced by the Japanese, probably for a long time. But whatever. The dialect is harder to pick up. It is hard to pick up MK Fenris. However, so my teacher was from Osaka. So some of the things I say in Japan are Osaka, and then, which is different from Tokyo Ben, you know. It's so what's a good explication of this? This is the best one. So, 大丈夫ですか is like a common.
So does me.
大丈夫, you understand what 大丈夫ですか is how I say that. How are you doing, right? In Japanese. However, in Kansai Ben, it would be mokurima ka, which means literally how are you profiting? This is Kansai Ben versus Tokyo Ben. This is something when I grew up learning Kansai Ben, I learned mokurima ka kara daijoubu.
Yeah, it sounds somewhat more colloquial, like when you say when you say to someone, "How's it going?"
Hi. Like,
which could be confusing in other languages.
Yeah. The only difference is that mokurima ka has a very Kansai Ben. It is Kansai Ben. Kansai Ben. It literally means how are you profiting. It's a little bit different than odaijoubu, which is the most generic form. Which
those high inflections are a little much to ask for me.
わかるかねわかりましたかな
Yeah, I mean, like, I
you
can
understand,
speak, but I think because of my voice profile, I would speak more like a Japanese man, especially a gruff sounding man.
もういい。That's okay. 私の声はもっとmy voice also is more masculine です。So it's fine. I understand that. It's all cool. 同じじゃないだろ
I quite like how much more even-tempered the sort of inflections are from Japanese men, especially men who are not trying to be masculine. I mean, who are trying to be particularly masculine, like warlords in an old anime about Odo no. I like those characters.
女じゃないね。男。
Yeah. You know, like the hyper masculine characters.
Yeah, but I went hyperlinguistics on stream, Bill. So 男の子. You're saying 男の声ね。男の声のいいです。
Why? Okay, why is that coming up?
Yes, it's not just me. I'm talking to three who speak Japanese. We're talking together.
I don't speak that much.
私たちでにお話して。
I don't know that much. I can't speak Japanese. I just picked up some words.
本当に? You can't understand what I'm saying. Fuck.
I can. Yes, I can understand like basic phrases.
Okay, 私たちにお話して。
ander taal praat, alsjeblieft praat Engels.
Look at this motherfucker. Everyone in the chat who understands Japanese, 私たちにお話して means we're speaking together.
Mee nou.
Yeah, just.
Ik zal voor jou een klap geven.
Why are you mentioning Otokono?
We're making it all weird, aren't we? Here's the thing.
Niemand
Spoon.
kan je verstaan.
Man, I'm not a trap,
Jullie gieten
okay?
het steeds
I'm not a trap. I'm not a crossdresser.
Okay, let's do a thing. We're supposed to watch this Moldbug video, right?
It's fucking too late now.
Nay, it's 9:30. You don't
Yeah,
watch
that
the
sounds
Moldbug
right.
video?
What
I know it's later. I know it's later for you, but it's not that much later, is it?
It's 17% of us want to watch the Moldbug video.
Oh, okay, there we go.
All right, let's watch the Moldbug video.
Oh, poor Spoon. We're gonna have to pour him into bed.
Fuck off.
Oh, so did China. Spoon, where's this video?
What do you mean, where's the video? I gave you the video and the link.
What is?
Pay attention,
wonder where it
you
is.
weirdo.
I wonder what Freud would say about a spoon being poured into bed.
Now we're speaking net, okay? It's fine.
Fucking foreigners, I'm telling you.
Okay. It's all the same.
Nee,
I'm
ik
gonna
ga
put
niet
it into
Afrikaans praten.
the... I know. I'm gonna put it into the... Yeah. You have to
What you mean,
teach me
okay?
Afrikaans.
I can hear the
Teach me
Dutch in that.
Afrikaans. Alright, I'm putting it in the watch together. Oh, I'm continuing the watch together.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And it's Dutch. Dutch is a kooky language, isn't it?
It sure is.
What do you have against the libs?
Hitler, dude.
Here.
What do?
Okay.
Do I have to mute the music or let it play? Or... Ask the chat.
Like... Is it just like the normal...
It's the normal blues.
As?
Yeah, that's what
Keep that on.
scares me.
Keep that
Use
on.
the Matrix. Right.
Okay, here's our boy, Benjamin Boyce. He's a great guy. Also talking to our boy,
Courtesy of
Chris Jarman.
Moldbug.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that a stream with
Let's do this.
Anderson?
Some of my best friends are libs.
Oh, not again.
You know, the libs are possibly have against the libs. What are you even talking about? I love the libs.
It's a funky intro.
It's fine.
Are we recording yet? Are we live? Are we live? Are we...
We're not live, but I was just going to cut in because we're rapping already.
Sure.
But did you want to talk
Sure.
before we talk?
No. It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can be live.
Because the podcast we did earlier this year was my #1 podcast. So thank you very much for showing up on my channel.
Awesome.
Did great numbers for me.
Because guess what? Mentions Moldbugs.
Awesome.
And
Cool,
I've been listening to there's a YouTuber, Skeptical Waves, who's stockpiling a bunch of kind of dissident opinions through Amazon voice technology. He's got probably about 50 to 75% of unqualified reservations in audio format now. So I've been listening to
Cool.
Dawkins Got Pwned on repeat, and the letter to the open-minded progressives on repeat.
Yeah.
What? It seems like at some point you started to think differently than you did before this point. So at some point you admit to being liberal or universalist. I mean, I grew up as basically a classic blue stater, right? So really, and then I was a Cold War diplomat's kid, right? So I got that kind of, Cold War diplomat
His family.
perspective.
But when did this?
For people who are not aware of Curtis Jarman's family, like one of his parents was a diplomat, I believe.
He grew up in the deep state.
Grew up in the deep state, and yet he came out to find it reprehensible.
It's gay.
Which is a big deal, I would say.
This weird worm start to itch the back of your brain?
That's a good question. So, I sort of taken a long sabbatical to do some computer science research, and I was kind of a late libertarian maybe at the time, like Glenn Reynolds, Instapundit, like the early blogosphere. You remember that period? Like, he still blogs. He's the blog father. He's the law professor at the University of Tennessee or something like that. Generally, a good guy, and that was sort of the kind of like son of moderate, sort of almost like early.
So is this live and let live, don't tread on me kind of stuff?
No, that's much lower brow. This is like highbrow intellectual conservatism. These are like law professors, right? These are, Eugene Volokh, maybe kind of like the Reason crowd, and so you have this kind of light, libertarianism era stuff. And sort of two things changed while I was an unemployed computer science researcher, or independent researcher, or just like a crank or a weirdo, which, is really the way many still see me, of course. And so I'm like looking into this stuff, and I'm doing my like computer science stuff, but I'm also getting into like the hardware stuff, like more, once you're into like libertarianism, it's like there's sort of a gateway drug kind of effect where it's like you read Hayek and then you don't realize that you think of like Hayek as like the hard stuff, and then it's like, no, actually Mises is the hard stuff, right?
So you read Hayek.
Like, Hayek was a student of Mises. Hayek is like an inferior like pot Mises, right? He's fine, he's great. He's Hayek, right?
100%.
But it's like Mises who's the real fucking stud here, right? And so you're sort of getting deeper into this very, very heavy,
Would you agree with that, Spoon? That Hayek is like your
run of the mill
baby like take into libertarianism to Mises?
I would say Rothbard more than Hayek.
And then you.
But Mises is the grand poobah of libertarianism. Yes.
I would say Hayek, then Rothbard, then Mises. That's how you get into libertarianism correctly. Like to really understand
like
people.
Rothbard is easier to read than
personally,
than
yes.
Hayek.
Personally, yes.
My eyes are just shifting around because I'm an objectivist.
Early 20th century, like, post Habsburg kind of shit. I mean, Mises, for example, actually, not only is he the amazing theorist, he like ran the Austrian economy. He was like the Alan Greenspan of like Austria for like 2 years, and he like solved the like German inflation. Like, this guy was a badass. He like washes up in New York after the Second War, like, and manages to find some people to like take care of him and even give him like a professorship, but he's like never part of anything. And then, beyond Mises, you have, of course, the great Rothbard, who basically founded modern libertarianism. Most libertarians haven't really read much Rothbard. And beyond Rothbard, you have the infamous HHH, Hans Hermann Hoppe, who runs the Property and Freedom Society. If you're really cool.
Do you kind of like feel like that he's citing things that you and I would consider like basic requirements to even start to have political thoughts?
I think it's for him, this is his journey.
Yeah.
More so than I think it would be a regular person. But I feel like if you were going to take Moldbug's word for it, I think his own work, I think, is a good introduction for dissident thought. I think his work is
I would have
like
to
theory.
agree. Yeah, I would have to actually agree because I'm not actually very well read. I'm not well read of Rothbard or Hayek or
you must
any of
read
the masters,
Rothbard.
and I know I need to.
Rothbard, Hayek, and Moldbug, and then ultimately, of course, Hans Hermann Hoppe. You have to read these people. Like Moldbug is just he's kind of taking their ideas and synthesizing.
My journey into libertarianism came from a lot of historical reading. Investigating the sort of implications of the different policies that people implemented and coming to a conclusion on what worked and what didn't.
But I think that understandable. I think what Moldbug has just described is kind of like where you should be if you want to be dissident right.
Yeah.
You need to read Moldbug.
If you want to take the hot stuff.
You need to read his work. You need to read, but outside of reading his work, you need to read. Yeah, Hoppe. You need to read.
Hoppe is very difficult to read, though, I would say.
No, I don't think Hoppa's that difficult.
No, I don't mean difficult in the sense that
Hoppa.
he's complicated. He's simple to understand, but it's very theory driven. Like it's quite dry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like Ledden is chocolatey.
Who else did he mention here though?
The which?
Who else did he mention here though?
He mentioned Rothbard, Hayek.
Hayek, Rothbard, and
Juvenile.
Juvenile, I would certainly recommend Juvenile, but he didn't actually recommend him. These are people you need to read if you want to understand modern libertarian politics.
Yeah. Or like it is a hardcore.
You should definitely read.
And Hans Hermann Hoppe.
Locke's
and
second treatise.
Read Locke as well. Read Locke as well.
Locke's
but I think
Secretary of Government.
Carlyle.
Yes, Locke is.
Carlyle is Moldbug's favorite author.
Yeah. I would say. Again, Hoppe. Yeah. Good stuff.
You can be invited to his.
Sorry.
Hoppe's
no, I was
an
just going to say,
anarchist,
if you need some really good introductory videos to some of these writers and their work, I would watch Academic Asian's old work. It's great stuff.
Yeah,
it
is. I think that, no offense towards AA, who I think is a good guy, but I think maybe I should do similar videos of like how to access libertarian literature, because it's otherwise really difficult to access a lot of this.
You definitely have to read the books. Definitely, you have to. It's
I've read all of it, so
but for me, it came very naturally. I think.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure about if you grew up in a household that was already political like mine was. I found libertarianism very easy to access.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll ask AA actually what he thinks I should do.
His yearly seminars in Bodrum, Turkey, and he used to be an economics professor at UNLV for a while. So he ran this like weird extension of like the Austrian School of Economics of UNLV of all places. Kind of a place I kind of think of more in like basketball like terms, right? But and sort of this is what it means to sort of get into the harder stuff. And
what is hardening about it? Like, what's the
what
general...
is hardening about it? Yeah. So the excellent question. So what's hardening?
Such a great interview because Benjamin Boyce is the best person at interviewing, I think, in the entire fucking world. He just asks honest questions. But I love
Moldbug, yeah, he really kept Moldbug on a leash.
Yeah, because Moldbug otherwise will just like run off
spurgy,
into the he'll just run off into his
I quite like it, but it can get a bit incoherent at times.
No, but I think Benjamin was the best at being able to like hold Moldbug on a leash.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Moldbug, like, he'll just run off and talk. He'll just go into a fucking like thing.
He's talking in favor of both, yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
The thing about
I think
it is that
I
don't mind either. But as you and I are about people who like Moldbug, I think Benjamin Boyce was able to like keep him a little bit more
centered.
Yeah, centered.
Generally sort of broaden your critiques. And so, the thing is that the Austrian School of Economics kind of borders on the political in a sense, is that it implies this very kind of, what Austrians basically believe in is free markets in finance, as opposed to kind of what we have, which are these like weird hybrid systems where the government sets interest rates. And they, like, if you were to sum up market, Austrian economics, in like one term, it's like basically all financial signals should be done by the market, including interest rates across the yield curve. And like, that sounds like a really simple, obvious thing, but it's just like impossible to get there from here. And
who would be setting interest rates? Just individual banks?
The market. No, the market. You would have basically a supply, the supply of money that, let's say, do you know what a yield curve is? It's the basically It's the interest rates as a function of time. So basically, normally you have a yield curve that points upward and to the right because it basically lending money for 30 years, meaning I'm not going to use this money for 30 years, is going to be basically more expensive than lending it even.
I really
the
think
thing is, there are
that
more
Moldbug doesn't
ways
understand
to
how
use
this
a
can be
longer term
used by
of
the left.
production.
It would really help if you don't overtalk him because it's already complex.
I'm not trying to talk over him, but I think that he doesn't understand how this could be abused by the left.
What? Finance?
Of course, the finance can be abused by the.
I think he's just explaining how the system works.
Yes, I know he's explaining how it works, but it can be abused by the left under the current paradigm under which he's explaining.
I think if the financial systems are set up correctly, there isn't too much worry about manipulation from leftists. But the problem is, it can be manipulated and it can be changed, and they will rework the system to make it work for them. So it's kind of like he's kind of right, kind of, and there's worries there, but it's something that like any system, if you maintain it, it's not necessarily a problem.
He is right, but there's also the possibility for the left to come in and destroy the system.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You were thinking in terms of the democracy. In his world, it's like you don't have democracy. You don't have political wings. You just have one wing.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's why libertarianism works better than the monarchy.
Well, I know that he wants the monarchic system to exist, but if it's not a pure monarchic system, you are going to have the failure that I just described.
So what you're saying is burn monarchy, or burn democracy, sorry.
No, yeah, burn democracy, not monarchy. Continue though.
Oh, there we go.
Because what you're really doing when you're lending for 30 years is you're saying, do something with this money that will take 30 years to pan out. Do something with this money, like invent like fusion reactors or something. That's sort of the way that a system like this, or just say, hey, I'm going to retire in 30 years. I don't need this money till then. Right. And that sort of peer-to-peer lending model, which is sort of naturally, then you're just literally the interest rate is set by the supply and demand of borrowers versus lenders at every term. Does that make sense?
So every individual borrowing action has its own interest rate.
Has a corresponding lending action, and so you're making, of course, you're making these things fungible. You're saying my 30-year loan is just like your 30-year loan. You're making these things fungible in the market, but you're still setting interest rates by supply and demand.
Yes,
a good example of this is to say, let's say, suppose an asteroid is projected to hit the Earth and destroy it in the year 2030. Okay, suppose that I wanted to borrow money now and pay it back in 2031. Yeah. There should be essentially no market for this transaction, which means that there should be no interest rate at that term. Basically, I would have to pay back infinite dollars in 2031. Mm-hmm. And right.
Just to be clear, the current leftist ideology is that there will be no market by 2031. That the entire world will dissolve by then.
Yeah, but this is hypothetical. Like your one is.
I know it's a hypothetical, but that's their hypothetical. Is that the entire world will cease to exist in the next 10 years?
Yeah, but that's not part of this conversation.
Global warming. No, but Moldbug is giving you the hypothetical under which that would make sense.
Yeah, but he just brings up time. It has nothing to do with politics.
I know it doesn't make. I know. My point is that the left says there will be no world in 2031.
Yeah, but who cares?
The entire world will. I know, but I'm saying it's interesting, right? That he's still proffering the way in which the world would exist in 2031, which the left says currently will not exist.
Yeah, because he doesn't give a flying fuck about politics right now. He's discussing
of course it will. Of course it will. Of course it will. Of course it will. That's all nonsense. That's all. Give up all of your wealth so that we can. The elites can control and obtain all of your wealth. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Right, go on.
And so the thing is, if the yield curve in that situation is set by the market, you'll see this huge spike in it because nobody wants to basically lend money and get paid back in 2031. In fact, what you have in the 20th century is this weird system where, because of sort of historical things that went on in banking. Wow, we are going in a weird, deep direction here, but we'll get out of this. Because of things that historically happened in banking, you got this system where the government tries to sort of have a gas pedal on the economy by fixing the price, which it can do as a currency issuer, fixing the price of short-term interest rates. And then this non-market signal has gradually turned into the present of like what we call quantitative easing. What that means is you're now going to fix prices across the yield curve.
Through interest rates.
Through setting interest rate and through buying and selling, buying back bonds. So when the Fed buys bonds, it's driving the price of bonds up, right? So in fact, if you can issue infinite dollars to buy bonds, which the Fed can do, you can really peg these interest rates. But that is not a market signal. And thus, you basically have this system where macroeconomics depends on command economics in this really weird way, which everyone thinks is normal because that's the way we like normally do it, right? And in fact, I would argue it's a very strange, it's sort of the result of formalizing very dodgy banking procedures that are not healthy at all for the economy. Very deep digression. In any case, you're basically trying, understanding sort of, and you won't really get this from Hayek. You'll get it from like Mises. And so, here's this sort of very deep existential critique about the way the world works, which is very, very interesting. And sort of, you're just like, wow, there's this area totally outside the Overton window, which is like here, this is like normal economic views. And then there's this like other porthole that's like way the heck over there. And so, what hardening means is sort of strengthening your ability to kind of jump outside the Overton window and be like, no, it's not just that actually you come to see the Overton window more as a bubble. And it's like actually, the cult of Overton, basically. And everything outside the bubble is sort of very small in your picture because that's the bad outworld. And everything inside the bubble is sort of in-world. And this is a bubble in time. Anybody who was born before 1920 has perspectives that are outside the Overton window. So you've actually excluded basically all of history from your little bubble, which is exactly the sort of thing that a cult does. And
it's a really, really big cult, so it can.
It's a really big cult.
Yeah. So again, like, can't have someone like Erwin Knut, who, of course, Moldbug cites quite often. Nor could you have Julius Evola. Julius Evola. You can't have anyone who was born before this certain period, and if they are, then they are considered to be non.
I really agree with his points. I agree with his points exactly in that sense that the only people who tend to leave this bubble early in life are people who already have high disagreeability to the point that they're like, wait a second, no, it starts with one thing not making sense.
Yeah.
And then they realize lots of stuff doesn't make sense. And then they realize this economy doesn't make any sense. And it really, people might call you, people in your life. Yeah, spirals. It's a combination of high disagreeability and maybe high pattern recognition.
Yeah.
So like,
my case was boredom.
You're not allowed. You're not supposed to be able to.
You're really not supposed to think about any of these things.
Have that kind of pattern recognition, because if you do, then you're a bad white supremacist, whatever.
I like being a bad white supremacist.
It's also why we don't have any sort of economics classes in like high school anymore.
It's nonsense, because the only kind of economics that they will allow you to believe in or accept
personal finance at most.
Personal finance, and that's communist finance, which is nonsensical. It doesn't make sense once you look at it from more than a
15 seconds.
basic kind of comprehension. And I have friends who are communists, and I
don't. You have friends that are communists? That's shocking.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's almost like you talk about one of them all the time.
But I'm saying because like it would be. I'm not trying to like hurt people who
No, we're not
disagree
talking about home ec. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to dispose
Cause the communists
people.
any harm.
No, I don't want to like get people. I think that people who disagree with me are still like good people, right?
I don't. I think they're filthy communists.
Unfortunately, some of them are. Some of them aren't. It depends on what they believe.
Exactly. Like there are some people. There are some people who I know who are communists who are still good people. It's actually quite a lot of them. I actually find that there are more people who are like communists who are closer to agreeing with me than there are people who are centrists, which is unbelievable, right?
This does not make our position look good, Aiden.
I don't care, but I'm just saying, like, I don't care if it makes your position look good or not. I'm not trying to shill a position.
I'd rather a communist hate me.
I don't care if you want a communist to hate you.
The
reality is that
I don't really care either. I care whether or not they have an intention to strip me of my rights.
Well, they do because they're communists.
Not all of them do.
No, some of them want. Well,
No,
if they're volunteerist, then they want a society that's based on.
If they're voluntarist, then
consent
it's
sharing
very
resources.
different. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
There are a bunch of different ideologies that sort of like share some of the ideas of communism, but aren't communism, and I think they are probably more appropriate words to be using.
Again, like somebody who plays our TTRPG with us every week. His name's Commie Mark. What do you think his fucking ideology is? He's a communist, but he's
I think
a really
syndicalists probably match better.
Yeah, but he's a really good person who wants to like help people who are poor. He doesn't want to like put himself into the position of power. That's somebody who I am more than willing to politically work with, because his ideology of wanting to help the poor is way closer to my libertarian ideology than the average Democrat.
So it is your duty to convince him the error of his ways and turn him into a monarchist.
No, it's not. I'm not
actually a monarchist. I mean, I'm not a monarchist.
But I don't. You too.
The reality is that, like,
no, it's not
people who are sometimes have even communistic positions can have good reasons for doing it, and I respect that.
I am disappointed in you, young one.
I'm the same age as you, Ding Dong.
It's much more funnier if I speak in this tone of voice. It's kind of patronizing.
I know it's patronizing.
It is very patronizing.
It is, but
the reality
people must learn.
No, there are people who like.
You have to understand that there's idealism. There's idealism, and then there's practicality.
Yes, and you have to understand that there's seriousness, and then there's me memeing.
Yes, but okay, all right.
Voice I cannot tell.
That's part of the brilliance.
Because there's people who like disagree politically, and yet they are still based and cool people, and then we should understand they're based in coolness. And I really dislike the political fighting between groups, right? Because like sometimes it's pointless and it's stupid. I think that's true.
I mean, internet blood sports are certainly a waste of time.
Yes, I don't want to like fight against people who, even though they're communists,
no, you're a bit drunk.
Yeah, but like,
my only problem is that I don't think communism actually describes what you're describing. I
agree.
I think those are two separate things. I think what you might be describing is that this person is actually a syndicalist and they just don't know it.
He's a syndicalist. No, I think he's actively a syndicalist. I would consider myself a syndicalist actually in my own way. So,
I don't know. I think you need to learn more about what that means before you say that.
I've been studying syndicalism for like the last 20 years, so I don't think I'm retarded.
I'm not saying you're retarded. I'm just saying, look.
Well, I don't look. My
You're
whole thing is that,
please study your labels before you use them, young lady.
Okay, well, you know my labels are like very, very.
I mean, you're a revolutionary.
And
no,
I've always been a revolutionary.
What?
Really? Because I'm not.
Huh?
No, I want to fix the system.
Oh no, I want to destroy it.
there's a bunch of different combinations of ideas.
Actually, I think cynicalism can work under monarchism. Cynicalism can work under monarchism. It's actually why I would consider myself
yes,
a
that's
monarchist
also
syndicalist.
That's also what some Europeans thought in the 30s.
Yeah, but they weren't monarchists. They were fascists.
No, I'm not talking about the fascists. I'm talking about like the various syndicalist movements across Europe that did actually have some traction.
And they should have understood how syndicalism and monarchism can work.
Like the North Italians.
Yes. They should have. Yes. And the reality is that these two things can work together. Syndicalism and monarchism can work together.
Thing is, I'm also anti-union. I'm also anti-labor.
I'm not necessarily anti-union. No, because unions are good. I like unions. I do like unions.
Boone, you agree with me on this one?
On which the unions can fuck off?
What? Yes, the unions should fuck off.
I've read way too much about FDR to know unions are fucking deplorable.
Okay, well,
right. And as an American, you should also understand that, Aiden.
No, but my family were all union workers for 100 years. Union workers.
Okay.
You can agree with union workers, but hate unions themselves.
Yeah, because the unions themselves.
I don't hate the concept of the unions. I just hate the implementation.
What they are in practice, yeah.
The unions themselves fuck my families over. My family, they completely fucked me over.
Why are you pro-union then?
It's so hard for me to not be because, like, it's so hard for me to not be.
Why not? See, it seems like you haven't broken through the glass ceiling yet of not caring about these sort of things.
It's
you need to
difficult
support
for me to want
what
to
works in reality.
Say that my family.
Because fifis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fifis.
Yeah,
I don't want.
Because you're a woman.
No, but no. It's
I wasn't gonna go that far.
It is that far, but like my family.
She's my bestie. She can take my punches.
I accuse people of what they do, not what they are.
Look, my family. My
she
entire
is sensitive.
family
There we go.
Hang on, my entire family were union workers.
I'm sorry.
They got all super fucked by the fact the union died. Why did the union die? That's what I was interested in.
Because protectionism doesn't work.
Because this doesn't work, right? That's the real reality.
Protectionism does not work.
The union doesn't work. And my family, my dad's family was all out of Pittsburgh. They all lost all of their jobs. There is You want to see some of the most fucked up. Here's the thing. Would you like to buy $1 million, what should be costed as $1 million mansion in the United States? Go to Pittsburgh, right outside Pittsburgh, into Follansbee. You can buy $1 million house. It's going to cost you about $100,000. You can buy it there. You know why? Because they've destroyed my entire fucking industry that my family spent all their time creating.
Unfortunately, the protectionism of the unions made it all artificial. It's going to collapse eventually. I mean,
it was no real artificial.
Well, it protected the people that had jobs, but it didn't protect the people who didn't have jobs.
Okay, so here's the reality. Here's the reality. Okay, I can't tell you. I know it. I can't tell you lies about it.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that at Pittsburgh Steel, Follansbee Steel, which was later bought by Pittsburgh Steel, is that my grandmother worked on she worked in a ladder. What do you call it? She worked in a. Oh, what do you call it? She was up on a wire. She was up on a. What do you call it? She was like in a little. She was in like a thing. It was like a cherry picker, yeah. Like she was up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was up. I couldn't remember what it's called.
And
there was a horrible fire that happened, and she was caught while she was up in one of those. She got really, really upset and disturbed by what happened to her there. And even when my grandma was like 95 years old, she was terrified of even being on the second floor after being up in that picker, right? And she was fucked. Like, she couldn't deal with that shit. That being said, whatever. That was okay, I would say, because it was American steel being made. It should have been promoted way more than it was. It wasn't. It was American steel. Now, the thing that happens now is that no one makes American steel. we could just boot up any of those steel facilities. They still all exist. Look, have you ever seen a picture of like Weirton or Fallensby?
Mm-hmm.
The whole town is just steel mill. There's nothing but steel mills.
And if you want those to operate, the answer is deregulation, not or regulation, not protectionism. In fact, one of the first things that happened.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
One of the first effects of the Trump administration was when he reduced corporate taxes. Said a bunch of factories were like bought up and then got back to work because they could actually operate profitably now.
Now, there's some shit I would say that I have to say as being from this part of the world where that happened. Where my father grew up, is that there was no nighttime. There was never a point where the sun went down. That's true.
Yeah.
When the sun went down, bright lights of the steel mill went up. And it was kind of weird. And there was always ash in the sky. That's how it worked there. I mean, I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's how it works. Always ash in the sky. In
big ass in the sky.
Big ass in the sky. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's the way that it worked, right? Like that's just how it was. I don't know if people think that's okay or not, but by the way, it's how it works in China right now.
Right, and I'm not
advocating in the sky in China.
I'm not advocating for some sort of laissez-faire, absolutely zero regulation system. I'm just reasonable regulations, but keep taxes low, keep things as streamlined as they could be, and let people make people work. Let people work.
Yeah. Well, oh my God, you understand? Oh, you probably do understand, right?
I do. I'm from that. I mean, I'm from Maryland, so I know. Right. I mean. My sister's boyfriend is from Pennsylvania. He's seen all this stuff. He hates the governor. He hates the taxes. He hates the fact that the roads are always ruined. He hates the fact that there's basically no jobs there.
Yes,
I mean, he got out of there. We brought him to the D.C. area, and now he's working. He's making more money than he ever has.
There is nothing my people would rather do than just work. They just want we have all these steel plants. They're still there. They were maximized. They were rebuilt in the 1980s, and yet they're all shut down.
Our economy is so full of mixed economy, not microeconomics, MMT nonsense. That nothing's profitable anymore.
It really, like, when I would go visit my grandmom's hometown, used to be like there would be, like what do you call it, like. There'd be like festivals and stuff in the summer. Not anymore. The whole town's destroyed. The whole town is dead. It's dead. I can't believe it. Fallensby, Weirton, Wellsburg. Weirton, by the way, like Weirton and Wellsburg. Weirton was the original new capital of West Virginia under the not under the Confederates, but under the Union. The whole capital of West Virginia was fucked. And nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about how my state was treated. Nobody gives a single fucking shit.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Nobody cares. Even Joe Manchin doesn't care either.
Obviously not. He's a fucking bastard. He can fuck off.
He was at Davos.
He has no fucking care about what's happening in Weirton.
Yeah, he was at Davos. He was at Davos recently talking about how we need to get rid of the free press.
It's absolutely fucking sickening. Like, this is where I grew up. This is my fucking hometown. And they shit all over it.
My father's from Grafton, West Virginia.
Grafton.
And he drove us there. He drove us there and showed us in what absolute dilapidated state it was.
Yo, you don't understand. I guess
there's nothing there.
You do.
I do understand. I do entirely understand. The economy was ruined.
There's not much that I am more angry about than what's happened to my state. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do. What can I possibly fucking do to help fix my state? I'd like to, but there's nothing I can do. I'm completely fucked on.
I've only seen that there's two solutions. two real solutions. It's one, build a parallel economy. Do your own thing. Just keep doing your own thing. Live your own life. Be successful. And then do with that what you will. And then the next generation has to be taught these things so that they don't make the same mistakes. That's it. That's all we can do. It's long term. It's a long-term strategy to basically continue to put our will into, put our voice into the culture.
Yeah. Oh shit, did we end this?
Did we? Let me check.
No.
No, it's still running. People are watching. It's less people, but yeah.
Well, sorry about this.
I didn't
mean people to
it was
hear about
interesting.
My sad history of me being very upset about what's happened to my people or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They're my people too. I'm half West Virginia redneck. I'm just a tiny little man.
Don't use that word. Don't use that word. That's don't use the word that the Yankees use to talk shit about us. Fuck that.
By Yankees, you mean New Englanders?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
They use the word redneck to refer to us. We're not redneck. We had no in West Virginia. We had no. How do you call it? Well, no, we didn't have any how do you call it?
Sing us the song of her people.
No. we didn't have a big crop, right?
Yeah, I get it.
We couldn't go crops, which is how you get a redneck, is because you're out in the crops, and they fucked us over. I'm so fucking furious about this. I gotta
Yeah, my dad has all these stories about what he remembered growing up, and he would see the coal workers come out of the caves, out of the mines.
Yeah.
And then they would go to there's this little diner that he remembers that was just basically a trailer on the side of the road, and you could get chili dogs for 10 cents.
Yeah. Oh shit. No, I know. It's right outside of Charleston.
No shit, really.
Yeah, that's
no shit.
Charleston.
Because he couldn't remember where it was.
No, it's right outside Charleston.
Oh my god.
It's right outside Charleston. It's right between Charleston and Huntington. I know exactly where that place is.
I mean, he was a kid in the 50s, so
no, I know exactly what they remade it into a tourist attraction. But it's right between Charleston and Huntington.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I know I know where it's at.
Yeah, and it's
do you guys remember that the stream was supposed to be about these two talking?
I do remember that. It's a little dry though, isn't it?
Yeah, guess whatever. Okay, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I think
sorry,
I'm sorry.
Sure, but the thing is,
I should probably
scale. So in any case, you start to get this strange feeling that you're living in a cult. Even when you basically read the Austrian critique of the way modern economies are planned, because that critique is an existential critique. It's basically, no, the whole idea of what it is to manage an economy here is just completely wrong. And that's why we have just insane things like the business cycle, right? And just what, right? And obviously the system is working as well as it could possibly work, right? Just from the results.
Totally.
No.
Nothing.
Totally. Right. Totally. Nothing could possibly be wrong with this thing. Nothing bad is happening. Nothing is fucked, right? And so you're just no, it's sort of possible for things to be fucked in such a way that the distance from where we are to something unfucked is unimaginable. It's not just something that would be politically very difficult. It's just existentially unimaginable within the existing political frame. And so you're starting to imagine that, less that you're on an island above a sea of chaos and more that you're in a bubble or a sea of evil, really. Every cult wants to see itself as an island on a sea of evil. And everything outside of it, the past, 10,000 years, evil. Everywhere is evil except us. We, the people, we are not evil. This is a very human pattern.
Of course.
And so to find the present world which has become this single integrated culture, to find that the single integrated culture is involved in this very normal human pattern is a very normal thing. It's like when you hear hoofbeats expect horses. This is a horse. A zebra would be like if this was the cult that had found like the meaning of life and time and everything. But like generally, the more enlightened, genuinely enlightened periods tend to have more respect for other periods. This lack of respect for the world outside it is like a huge, like everyone but us sucks, is like a huge cult signal. Yeah. Right. And so you're starting to be like, I'm living in a cult. And the thing that Hoppe does, which is sort of really cool, is that he basically takes many of the unexamined sort of motivations and like understandings of economics and extends them in this book, Democracy, the God That Failed, into the political realm. And in particular, he sort of presents the old sort of theory of the law of nations and how governments worked before the democratic revolution in a way that you can actually parse if you've already been smoking that hard shit. Of like hard Austrian economics, like Mises and so forth. So, for example, one of the things that Hoppe points out is that what you really want in a regime is for that regime's own interests to be as aligned as possible with the interests of the nation itself. You want, what previous regimes called the solus populi supreme elects. The health of the people is the supreme law.
I don't know how far we're going to get into this, but
Anata.
Patio Furniture asked, how do you say weebs? Please stop in Japanese. Weebkun o tomari nase. Onegaishimasu. That's how you say that.
Yamde kudasai.
I don't know if people want us to talk about West Virginia. I would keep talking about West Virginia. Like, do you guys want us to keep talking about West Virginia? I don't know. Or keep doing this. We'll play the whole video.
I can't see why we can't do both. Like, we play the video and finish up.
No less dose.
Then we'll talk about West Virginia.
In the sort of like, you can't say a regime is a good regime if its people deteriorates or if its land deteriorates. Like basically, preservation of capital. You start thinking about nations in the same way that you think about firms. And, as a libertarian, you're very, you understand the enormous power of this like system of competing firms, and you know that it breaks down when there's like a single firm, like a monopoly. That like monopolies kind of suck and are kind of more government-like than sort of networks of competing firms. And you're just like, wait a second, that's exactly what Orson Welles was talking about in The Third Man when he's like makes the famous comparison between medieval Italy and medieval Switzerland. If you know that line, where he's like. This is from
The
Third Man, which was it was a Graham Greene novel, but it has Orson Welles as the villain, and he ad-libs all his lines, and he ad-libs this great line where he's like, totally historical, by the way, where he's like, Switzerland had 500 years of peace. And what did they invent? The cuckoo clock. Medieval Italy was just wars, and wars. And, everything we have came from them. Something like that, right? Which is, perfectly true. Switzerland had some, had some things. But in any case, basically, these very productive periods, these very functional periods in history come out of these like city-state periods with many competing players in a very dynamic market. And that's exactly where you also see the healthiest work of capitalism being done. When capitalism degenerates into monopoly capitalism, it actually kind of sucks. And so once you start to see this pattern...
You should read something called, I think it's called The Political Economy of Nations.
Yeah.
By Friedrich List. He was a German. And he describes this kind of model. Once I started reading some of that, like, oh, this is where Moldbug gets his idea for, like, the state must be a business and it must be run like a business. Because he highlights how, or in the book, Friedrich highlights how the city of Venice was really in competing with other Italian cities. But when other nations started to industrialize, the smartest thing that Italy should have done, because Venice was quite protectionist, was instead should unite all of Italy with the same kind of model that Venice was using against its cities, against other nations. Because the city of Venice could not compete other nations, and that's why it fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they did finally unify in the 1870s, it was too late. They started industrialization too late. They were never really relevant after that point.
Yeah. So it's interesting to look at the nation in the sense that, like, that's the monarchical argument, is that I own the land and it's in my interest to keep the system flourishing. Otherwise,
it's not just monarchical. Yeah, it's not just monarchical. It's also very capitalist. You could have a government that views itself as a business without all the monarchy too, in a Republican context, and you could still implement this. I totally think that's like the sense of responsibility that the government should see itself towards its people. This is not my money. I'm using this money, and most likely as an investment, to generate
no incentive
more
for them to actually do that, though.
But
that's the problem.
That's the thing. Yeah, there needs to be incentives. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
But that's why the monarchy works better than the republic.
Correct.
I don't agree with that, because our republic has been poisoned with ideas of direct democracy for decades at this point.
Well,
it's a shadow of what it was.
Direct democracy is a complete fucking sham and a nightmare, but that's why the direct monarchy works better.
Of correlation between the state system and the corporate system, and you understand what makes the corporate system so darned effective, has also made states effective. How you can also see a state, a regime, as essentially a corporation which owns sort of the land and the people of the nation. And you can go from there to reading, you're like, okay, if states are like corporations, then a traditional hereditary monarchy is kind of like a family-owned corporation. And so the thing about a family-owned corporation is that the time interests of the family can be actually measured in the centuries. The owners of this property can think about, hey, wow, this is the legacy that we want to leave our descendants in the next century. You know, a dictator who's going to, a president for life can't do that, right? And in fact, one of the ironies of our present situation is, what is the most when you include both government agencies and private corporations and all other organized forms of structure, what is the most prestigious organization in the world?
I know the answer, but maybe it's changed. It would be whoever tells the story, whoever directs the narrative.
Yes,
and whoever trains,
and that would be, in other words, the New York Times. And are you no huge quarrel with that? And suppose you were Nazis. I know it's a stretch. Suppose you were a Nazi and you were trying to take over the world.
Okay,
you got to infiltrate your personnel. You got to put a little chip.
That there are many people who think that you and I are Nazis. Because we agree.
That's because they're stupid.
With Curtis Yarvin. Well, obviously because stupid. Like
that's the part that you gotta climb over.
I don't
stop caring what.
No,
stop
I don't.
caring what these people think.
I don't give a fuck. But
because their framing is wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Fascinating that they will use Curtis Yarvin as a person as to evidence to thing. And he's just like, I don't care. I don't want to deal with this. I gotta be honest. It's 10:30.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:30.
I have to. Would you all like to watch my new video or not?
I think we should finish this first.
All right, let's do this.
Yep, in the brains of 100 people. Which people which would make them Nazis, and then they would conspire with the other Nazis to Nazify everything? I would think that a substantial percentage of the people you chipped that way would be at the Times.
Well, but there's also Yale and Harvard. There's also the
yeah. So there's some relevance
but you would go to New York Times rather than.
I think that's sort
upstream.
of more changeable. That's more upstream in a sense. I think that if the Times, let's say that the Times is the last American paper that still responds.
Yeah.
He's clearly read his history, because this is what the Nazi regime did. They went through publishing first. And then once they attained power, then they went and changed universities.
Yeah.
So he is correct.
Here's the irony, is that it's certainly arguably the Times. And what is the governance model of the Times?
Well, they just had a walkout this weekend. So
they're a fifth generation hereditary monarchy.
Yeah. Well, but to what degree do the owners actually impact?
I think that the Sulzbergers are the last. First of all, I think the current Sulzberger, Puff or Pinch or Poop or whatever his name is, they all have these nicknames, right? But he really is the fifth in line. I think the current Sulzberger is, frankly, and I don't care who hears this, a weak king. I think that his level of control over the Times is weak compared to his ancestors. Someone like Bezos, who is the publisher of the Post, I think has zero influence over the news desk. But I wouldn't say that of the Sulzbergers. I think Bezos doesn't own the Post, he sponsors it. But the Sulzbergers are the last great American dynasty. Moreover, think about the irony of this world in which the most prestigious organization in the world is a hereditary absolute monarchy. Have you like no one has noticed that, right?
I've noticed. I've noticed.
And so you actually when you start to try to understand this form of government and this system.
Here's the thing that drives me fucking nuts, by the way. Every single powerful system is still a monarchy.
Yeah, all corporations are run with the monarchical model. The CEO.
Yes, but we're supposed to pretend like that's not the case.
Yeah, everything that has any effectiveness is run like a monarchy.
All of it's run like a monarchy. I find that very bizarre.
Yeah, and that's certainly top right corner conservative politics, in that's basically as conservative as you can get. It's the oldest.
Yeah, top down.
Yeah.
Top-down systems where meritocracy rules all the way up until you get to the point of the actual owner.
I don't know. 3. Have you read Moldbug's dissertations?
No.
Ideology.
No.
You really should. It's fascinating.
You should. It is.
I'm sure they are.
I think it might.
His ideas on this are very fascinating. The way that he's sort of describing capitalist economics as monarchy, and I get it. In the same sense that a private owner is basically a king of their own castle. I totally get it. Totally get it.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And I've always believed, I as a right wing libertarian. Yeah. I distinctly believe that someone has every right to be a tyrant with their own property.
I agree with that. Here's Moldbug. And by the way, why I like this conversation is because Benjamin Boyce he doesn't have, as far as I know, a hardcore perspective. He's just sitting here trying to understand other people's
probing gently.
Perspectives. Yeah, I love Benjamin. He's a great guy. Right. He's just sitting there trying to be what the fuck are you saying? He's trying to figure it out.
I'm trying to figure out what how Moldbug is working this into nationalism and other
Moldbug he's not. No, Moldbug, he's just saying things that he thinks.
He doesn't actually have a nationalist perspective in any way, and you can tell this because he's arguing for the effectiveness of the firm rather than the ideological sort of blood and soil argument.
I don't really believe in blood and soil nationalism strongly.
Nor does Moldbug. So
I believe that a state has a right to basically be run by the people who make up the nation, and that they decide what their destiny is. At least that they should.
Well, then you might want to,
Those shift over time. There is no state on Earth that is existing in the same space as those people originally stood in.
Yeah, then keep listening to Moldbug. I think it'll help.
I think it comes from consent of a people choosing to be one.
I agree with that. There's more
under which sort of the world was traditionally governed for the whole rest of the world outside the bubble until like the late 18th century. It's just like you're looking at the real world from inside the revolution. And the real world is actually not the world inside the bubble. That's a province of history. Sort of real history is outside it. Then we sort of observe things like, gee, wow, everything we like use or make or do is actually created by one of these little capitalistic monarchies. You know, your computer was made by Apple, which is a monarchy. It was actually made by Apple in China, so it was made by a monarchy in another monarchy. You know, you send a package by FedEx, you're using a monarchy. You send a package by U.S. Postal Service, you're not using a monarchy. You're using, you know, vote for who runs the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah, but
it's not a democracy. So you're using
America,
something else.
Yeah, but not everything that isn't a monarchy is a democracy.
We make a distinction between government and business. We have a hard time seeing that.
Right.
We say that the government's sovereign, and it has to be run differently.
Just be clear though, but like the way that YouTube is run, is a monarchy. It is sovereign. They choose what they want to allow to be shown. YouTube is a monarchy. Twitter is a monarchy. Just not the way that we typically explicate such understanding, right?
Well, my understanding of monarchy is that what supports a monarchy from collapsing is the support from the lords below it.
So they're not traditional monarchies. They are oligarchies, right?
I would say that they're more like complete, absolute. I wouldn't even describe these structures as oligarchies or any of these things, because there's one. Depends. It depends what kind of company they are. If they have one owner and they have 100% power,
yes, that would be monarchic. But they are oligarchic.
No, they'd be a despot. It would be autocracy because there's only one person there.
But there's very
that doesn't
little
mean they're
difference
abusive.
between. It's not just being.
I didn't imply that. I didn't imply that they were abusive. What I'm implying is that they have full control.
What we need to like abandon is the idea that despotism is always evil. We need to really abandon,
like particularly the word dictator is the positive version of that.
Because by the way, like Twitter is full of despotism does not necessarily equal evil. Despotism can be a good thing, so we need to reaffirm.
Mr. House, that's a good example.
But
there can be good despots.
The idea that they're also family oriented and that they automatically get transferred to the next generation is also not true of most companies.
Not of Twitter, but like of the way that Spoon and I would.
Like for example, there is no child for Apple. Apple did not transfer their ownership to their children. That didn't happen. It got transferred to Tim Cook.
I have to be honest, I'm about to fall asleep, so.
Should we end it here?
A little bit. Let's also. Adam and Tish are live now. They want to like stream over them. How much longer do you want to go through this?
You can stop now if you want.
Do you want to stop now?
Yeah, if you're sleepy.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah. For once.
I am going to, however, like.
Push it.
I know. I am gonna. I'm getting really pissed that YouTube has not allowed my video to be played. So I will play it one more time. For people. But that being said,
I think I need to watch the rest of this on my own because I need to understand how he's relating these corporate structures to being monarchies.
I'm feeling
inherently so
a little bit sleepy, so it's only 10:30. But Adam and Stitch are right now. Let's go watch Adam and Stitch. Yeah?
Do we have to?
Yeah, let's go watch Adam and Stitch. Everybody go watch Adam and Stitch. They are I would say like sister stream or whatever. Care? I'm too tired to keep going.
Why do you?
Why do I do it? Because I like them. Anywho.
The fact that other people ask you that might be a question.
9 more hours.
Why? I'm too tired.
Yeah, alright then.
Do you want to keep streaming?
No, if you want to go to bed, you go to bed.
Yeah,
Okay, you can go to bed.
No, I mean, I'm still. Here's the thing: I'm still gonna be up for like 6 hours probably, but I don't want to like more because I'm too tired.
6 hours is a long time to still be up while saying you're tired.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's a quarter of a
No,
day.
no, no. Nay.
Sounds like you got the same, like, sort of problems with insomnia that I do, where I turn off my computer, I'm like, I'm going to bed, and then it's like 2 hours later, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit too sleepy. I have to, like, switch my...
Yes, I did know Adam and Switch's server is quite hostile to me in particular. But that's because I'm smarter than all of them, so that's the reason why.
They're about to go live. Like, I don't want to, like...
get the feeling they'd be hostile to me,
I think
too.
they are alive. Alright, let's head off, okay?
Uh-huh.
Alright. So, we'll see you all on Wednesday, yeah?
Yes. And where Aiden will be less sleepy than she is now.
I'm very sleepy right now, but I'll be this. Alright. See you on Wednesday. I will be around tonight. I don't know what we're doing. Alright. Bye-bye.